Good morning, everyone. Good morning. To anyone who's asking why I'd be doing a stream at this time, considering my time zone is U.S. Central Time, I have really bad insomnia, and it's been beating my ass lately. I've hardly been able to sleep, so I'm just like, fuck it. I'm up. Nitro works early, so he's in bed by now already. So it's just like, what the fuck ever, right? I don't know what else to do. So we're just gonna do this. That's my thought process here. But good morning, everyone. Hope you're all having a nice, whatever. I updated my OBS and they made the interface look more like Streamlabs, and that just kind of pisses me off. I kind of wish I didn't update it. Like, there's some nice new useful features here, but I don't like Streamlabs. I miss my old OBS interface already. I might downgrade. Delivered for dinner. I guess I probably shouldn't ask where you're getting your butter chicken kiwi, because a lot of, I don't think there's any Indian chain restaurants, but there's a couple Indian restaurants where I live, and that shit goes hard. Good choice. And somebody's the IRL Skitter Girl. What do you do if you wake up at 10:45 and you were supposed to be working at 9? Uh-oh. That's a good question. Here, I'm just gonna leave this going. I thought about playing music from the new Risk of Rain DLC. I haven't played it myself yet, but it's been so mired. Anyone here who plays Risk of Rain 2 probably knows what I'm talking about. It has been so mired in controversy across the street. That's actually interesting. Where I live, in the US, they're not that common. Where I live, I think there are 2. Let me uncheck this. We can pause this. Today's live reaction was contributed, I believe, by Sparky over on the Discord. It is the live Cretin gaming stream. So this is actually who's playing right now. Not me. I'm just talking. It's the Cretin playing the game. I have heavy insomnia. Go check that one out. Yeah. I've had insomnia for a lot of my life. And here's the funny thing, okay? Okay, first of all, how do you do this every time? Norman, are you just do you ever sleep? I'm curious how you accomplish this. I don't think since you started doing this, I can't think of a single stream where you haven't done this at the beginning of the stream. I have no idea how you pull this off every time. I appreciate the D&D check. I'm going to leave our messages open so you can reply to my question, but what the fuck? How do you do this? Listen. Okay, I'm listening, bitch. How do you pull this off? I have no idea how you do this. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be off my fucking rocker today. I have, like I said, I've hardly slept in a while. Checked out the BO6 zombie stuff yet. Phoenix has been feeding me information about it. Live Gooner reaction. Were you not here for the live Gooner reaction, Diet Milk? That did actually happen. It's like to a fire alarm in their home. Opinions on Sevagoth Prime Access? It's okay. I'd just call it an okay Prime Access. Would you rather this or get banned by an unfunny person? This feels like a threat, so we're just gonna put you back in the corner. Max Payne, but if it was first person. I actually really loved Cold War's movement. Guess who's here? Look, all I'm gonna say, Chorf, is Spike has put Idan through enough. I'm not letting that meme bleed over onto my stream. Idan has been through enough. Also, I'd just like to say, dude, the fucking Milky Way, image they have, it's kind of low res if you look at it close, but this is gorgeous. I love shit like this. I wish I lived somewhere where I could see the night like this in real life. Plus 1,000 menacing aura. Okay, I would just like to update everyone. It's been, almost a year now. My Kavat's ear tufts are still missing. So for those who don't know, when they did the Kubro fur overhaul, I think it was either in Whispers or Abyss of Daggeth, they will not, it's almost like to be reworked in 1999, but I cannot wait until winter. Yeah, fair enough. Didn't you ask that that on the AMA to Pablo Blueprint about Ancient Disruptors, and Pablo replied that basically it was going to be a 1999 thing? Anyways, yeah, so the ear tufts, Kavats have been hairless for almost a year now. My Floppa has been missing his ears for a while. All of his hair has been gone. He looks like he's made of plastic. It bothers me so much. I don't like it. I don't know why this is like this. Justice for Floppa, I agree. They shaved my fucking cat. Look at him. All he's left is the plastic construction he's made out of because he's a CIA plant. Whenever the enemies shoot him, like I had one time I was playing, right, and a power fist punched through my cat's chest and ripped out the CIA wiretaps. But it's fine because my cat may be a CIA agent, but I have been feeding them nothing but misinformation for the past 6 years. So it's fine. The fact that he's a CIA plant actually works in my favor because they have repeatedly tried to stop bombings at the wrong government buildings. I can't keep with this joke. I'm gonna get my stream taken down. So fun thing, by the way. The reason I'm in this scene right now, because normally I'd just be in the Orbiter, right? And the reason I'm in this Captura scene is because, the Orbiter is really resource intensive because the new lighting engine is, very, like, GPU demanding. So the labs in the Orbiter, and even Duviri, make my GPU really fucking loud, and it annoys me. So we're here right now. I've been having some cooling issues. I probably have to repaste my graphics card, but that is going to be a massive fucking pain in the ass, and I don't want to do it. And so I need to look into if any local places would be willing to do it for me, because while I definitely could do it, working with parts that, you know, my graphics card cost me like $700, that would be extremely stressful. Can't stay on the beach forever, though. Typically, whenever you repaste your GPU, you also have to redo the thermal pads. I don't want to do that. I also just realized I don't think I added mod permissions for any of the new Discord mods for this chat. Hold on, let me do that real quick. Yeah. Standard moderator. There we go. I think... Hold on, I need to double check something real quick. Oh, right, because of streamer mode, I can't actually check to see if any of the new mods have their account linked. If any of the new mods are watching and they don't go by their, like, Discord alias, just DM me what your channel name is, please. Just so I don't fuck anything up. Could it be an airflow/dust issue? Oh, here's the thing. So, partially, yes. I'm almost positive it's partially that. The issue, though, is it's stuck in my... So for those who don't have like a liquid cooling setup for their CPU, for me it was basically mandatory because my CPU is a 5800X and that thing runs hot as shit. You have a radiator, and so basically how it works in like a very simplified form is liquid runs over the CPU, right, and it transfers the heat, and then the liquid gets run through a bunch of really small fins. Shut the fuck up, Ordis. So it runs through a bunch of really thin fins to maximize the surface area, and then fans push air over those fins to take the heat away. So there are a ton of these really thin fins that run across your radiator. So these fins, obviously, because air is being pushed through them constantly, gather dust. Even though I have a filter on the front of my case, it doesn't matter. They still gathered a lot of dust. So it seems like the ability for my CPU to cool is actually fine despite this, but there's not as much air being pushed into the rest of the case because the heatsink is mounted to the front. That's the only place it would fucking fit. So I'm essentially working with a single intake fan on the top of the case, and then the single, you know, exhaust fan on the back, and that's it. So I'm essentially down 2 fans. Even if they're pushing relatively hot air, it's kind of clogged up by dust getting in there. The problem is that it's dense enough, because I have a dog and she sheds like fucking crazy, that it is really difficult to get out. So we're working on that. But I've also had this computer for a couple years now, and I do think that repasting is probably just going to be what has to happen, especially because I use it so much. But that's kind of a we'll have to see sort of thing. Like, even just standing here, my GPU has gone up, I think, like 7 degrees. Since loading into my orbiter. Not in any dangerous territory, it just annoys me because my fans get very loud. Anyways, have I tried Deadlock? No. Going to be needed after a while? Yeah, I expect as much. because of being mean to Ortis. Normally I like Ortis, he just tends to talk when I'm speaking. It's a little bit disruptive. Normally I'm cool with him. It's actually fun. That's good to hear. I'm not super into, like, PvP-only games, just as, like, a personal preference kind of thing. But, you know, anyone who's enjoying it, I'm glad to hear. To lessen GPU load. Oh, it's not the random shit in my orbiter. That's not what causes it. It's the new lighting engine. This happens to me in the labs, too. Anywhere that uses the old lighting engine is perfectly fine. Anywhere with the new one, is pretty bad. To do Red War right away or wait a bit. Orange, I don't say this to be mean, I'm genuinely curious. Are you referring to the new war and are getting it confused with the Destiny quest? Favorite tile set? That's no contest. It is the Gas City. Damn you, Steve, for the new engine. Not be a cheaper solution than repasting the GPU. Would it be cheaper? Yes, but repasting the GPU is probably still necessary at this point, completely regardless of the dust. Yeah, I would say when it comes to doing the new war, so there's actually a lot of stuff locked behind it. There are 2 maps, this one and over here, this one. These are both post-New War, and the Steel Path is post-New War too. I'd say, like, set aside time for it, because it will take you on average about 6 hours to finish, and be aware you can't back out of the quest until you finish it, so that's something to keep in mind. But I'd recommend doing it if you want to move, you know, through that content. Exhaust, no matter what rush, should be intake in most cases. Switch the other exhaust to intake. The way this case is designed, unfortunately, that's basically not possible. I got a case that was probably smaller than I should have gotten. I mean, it fits where it is, but I agree that it should have been exhaust because it's a 2-fan radiator. Like, what would have been smart of me would have been to get a single fan radiator and then mount that on the top. But I'm a fucking idiot, and I bought a 2-fan one, and the only place it fits is on the front. And switching the others to intake would be difficult. Let me put it that way. Someone just sent me rate my cable management. What the fuck? Person who sent me this, are you okay if I show this on stream? This is kind of traumatizing, and I think everyone else should be subject to it. Also, my GPU temperature has dropped 10 degrees because I'm in the star chart. Just to put into perspective how fucking intensive the new lighting engine is. Sure? Okay, hold on. Everyone, let's rate this cable management right now. Cable management. Everyone here, what do we think? What do we think? What FPS are you at? Currently 165, which is typically what I said. This game runs well. Then a good air cooler. You know, fair enough. This case is actually too thin, I think, for a proper, like, good air cooler, though, because a lot of them are pretty tall. Let me grab this. Okay, everyone. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. I know we haven't gotten to the actual game yet. Holy fuck, this image is big. What the fuck? There we go. Look at this. What the fuck? Like, don't get me wrong. My cable management is bad, but it's not this. And you know what's worse about this? You know what's worse about this image? This is the front of the fucking PC. Like, so most cases, if you're looking at, like, it from the front, you have, like, this big compartment, and then there's a little area behind it to route your cables. If you might notice, this is not the area where you're supposed to route your cables. If I expand this a bit, that's his graphics card. Where's the red arrow? Here's the red arrow. Let me put it on top. That's his graphics card. That's his CPU cooler. His CPU is over here. That's just actually, these are just, wait, what the fuck are these here for? These are just case fans. That's his liquid cooler. This is actually a custom loop because it runs through his graphics card too. So this is a custom cooling loop. But what the fuck are all of these, like, out here for? Especially because, like, you don't... Dude, I'm concerned on a lot of levels. Because these, I think, are the power cables for his GPU. But the... You don't need this many, I guess? I don't know what's going on here. Because, like, typically, you'll have a few connectors on this guy. You'll have, like, something up here. There's a big one by the motherboard. Most cases it's like, I guess, around, this side of it. But typically, like, my cable management's not great. I'm not going to deny that for a second, especially in my drive bay. My drive bay cable management is awful. But this is fucked up. Yeah, soft tubing makes me sick. I can't watch streams here. Good afternoon, Mr. Good to see you in the VOD. Thank you for stopping by, LU. I appreciate it. I run the GPU at 500 to 1,000 watts usually. Jesus Christ. Oh god, hold on. Flary, I'm showing this on stream. I'm just gonna call this AI slop. So, Flary just sent me on Discord a fucking... Hi, cool kid. Hi, Kazette. Flary sent me on Discord the automated AI summary. Dude, look at this. Look at what it says. Possibly even urine-based cooling. Fucking shit, dude. Oh my god. I don't know who said that. Thank you. Thank you that the AI picked up fucking Shirati PC. Holy shit. That's fucking awesome. Anyways, yeah, this soft tubing scares me because this is much more prone to leaking. Having a leak in your custom loop is horrible. It's probably yellowed because this tubing is used. I guess I don't know how long it's been used for. Like, dude, if the shit runs, I guess that's that. Bad cable management can also restrict your airflow pretty bad, which is probably part of the issue with me. But, like, my airflow is all... Or my issues with cable management are all in the cable management area in the back. Like, that shit is not front and center like this. This is clearly not finished, though. Like, I want to make that clear. These case fans just sitting in here and shit. It's not like this guy's going to just, like, put the side panel on and fucking boot up Doom or something. This is clearly not finished. Using a case fan to hold the GPU is based as fuck. That's really what it's for. Honestly, some of the stock case fans you get, dude, fuck it. That's the thing they're the best for at that point. Thank you for enlightening us with that. Now that you're becoming famous, when are you gonna get a feat reveal? I'm far from famous. Oh no, that's how it is? It's been like this for 2 years? Wait, did you just not put the side panel on? You just have the guts of your PC spilling out like this? What the fuck? I take back every nice thing I've said about this PC if that's true. That's horrible. Why do I still have the red arrow on screen? I don't know what this is for. Look at the Cretin Live Cretin Gaming reaction. I vibe? What? He just said, yeah, I vibe with this. So you're telling me that you just let you... Wait, what the fuck? So the case fans just... Wait, no, I have to pull the image back up now, dude. Now I have to pull the image back up. You're telling me the case fans sitting in here, this is a permanent arrangement? These fucking things, that's just normal? They've just been there? Dude, what the fuck? Oh my god. This... Dude, what the fuck? Dude, is... Wait a second. Hold on. I have an important question. What kind of floor is this on? Is that just, like, straight concrete? What is that? Are you in an unfinished basement? I can't tell what that material is. Wait, the PC is partially on a rug! Wait, oh no, dude. I was looking at this stuff over here. It's on a fucking rug. Wood and carpet. I don't think that's real wood, but that's not even what I'm focusing on at this point. You have all of your cables spilling out onto a... Dude, this connector is just sitting here not connected to anything. Oh my god. The more I look at this, the more fucking, like, horrified I am. Look at this piece of the cooling loop, just multiple parts of it are just sitting out here. What the fuck? It's mostly on a rug. We have this just exposed cable sitting here. For 2 years, this thing has not burnt your house down. I'm fucking shocked. I assumed that this was just, like, an in-progress thing, and that you just, like... I don't even know, dude. I don't even know. The PSU... Wait, I think you're right. Yeah, the power supply isn't mounted. Because you can see that's the filter for its intake fan. Is this not screwed in? I have a lot more PCs, but this is the magnum opus? Dude, this is a fucking war crime. I think you're right. The PSU's not mounted. It's just sitting there. It's... Because that's the fucking... That's the filter. Oh my god. Holy shit, dude. This is actually fucking, like, S tier. I need you to send me that image. I need to edit 40k Mechanicus music on it. I got you, Blueprint. Hold on. Where are our DMs? I don't DM you that often, so I gotta dig for this. Oh, for fuck's sake. I can't search your name because of streamer mode. Shit. Okay, hold on. Okay, I can tell by your status of spinning in the microwave this is you. Okay, here you go. Here you go. Do with it what you will. Dude, this thing is so fucked up. So can you send me the image? Okay, I'm going to ask OP of this image. Is it okay if I post this in the Discord so people can save it? Is that something you're okay with, or is this like a rare commodity you don't want shared? Like, if this image is something that you think, sure, okay. I was going to say, if you want to keep this close to yourself, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this in I'm going to put this in general. And then I'm just going to say, stream viewers... abomination of a PC. Okay, if you want the image, it's in general in the Discord. I don't want to DM it to like 30 people. So, dude, this is actually so fucked up. You can right-click my NFT, dude, hell yeah. Missing SSD loose dangling of SATA cable? Fucking hell. Dude, where? Like, I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore. I see there's this cable down here. There's a bunch off the back for peripherals, I'm guessing. IED running Warframe. Reservoir close-up, please. Okay, so, like... I'm guessing the reservoir is this thing? Or maybe that's... hold on. I'm not super familiar with custom loops. No, this is the reservoir. Here it is, here it is. Dude, that's fucking... Is there something... Okay, okay. Let's place bets. Do you guys think something is growing in here? Do you guys think something is growing in the reservoir? I feel like there's probably an undiscovered species of fucking mold in here. We're reviewing a viewer's fucking PC build. I'm sorry in advance. I'm actually flabbergasted. I'm buying a strong drink to forget this. Fair enough, Lena. Fair enough. But yeah, welcome Flexpot. We're looking at this guy's horrible fucking PC build. So the reservoir probably is an undiscovered species of mold. We have these case fans just sitting here. Wait a fucking second. I just realized. Do you guys see this? The fan is spinning in this image. This is plugged in. This fan is on. What the... Wait, what the fuck? What is it blowing air to exactly? I noticed that this, yeah, we have, so this should have been a giveaway that this is on. But this PC is, like, actively running, and this fan is on. Like, I didn't even process this. It's cooling the water? Maybe? I don't fucking know, dude. One is to my RAM and one is to my chipset. Is it, like, dude, you don't even have your side panel on. How is the cooling this fucked up? This is welcome to the Warframe stream where I talk about this guy's fucking horrifying PC image. Holy shit. This is a masterpiece, but like in all of the wrong ways. Like, what's the opposite of a masterpiece? Like, it's so fucked up it wraps around into being something special. There's also this one. I work on motherboard firmware IRL. Dude, Jesus Christ. You can't just show me things like this. How many GPUs are in this image? 5? Okay, we have another one coming. We have another one coming. I'm going to warn you all ahead of time. This is not the end of this guy's fucked up PCs. Like, you sound like you have a cool job. I'll give you that. I have a lot. Props to you for doing something this rad. But knowing that you're a professional in the space and you own this actually kind of makes it worse. I'm not gonna lie, that does make it a little bit worse. I'm one of the guys behind your motherboard's firmware, probably. That's grim. I have a 5800X. I guess I don't know what chipset it's running. I don't even know who made my motherboard. I bought it such a long time ago. So I just want to announce to everyone in chat, there is actually a decent chance the guy who made this worked on the firmware for your motherboard. According to this person, there's a good chance this person who made this PC made one of the most important parts of your PC. So I just want to let you all know that ahead of time. The person who made this might be the only reason your PC works. Okay, so I'm actually going to save this image. This is like a national treasure, and I don't want to ever lose it. So we're going to put this in the stuff folder where I just keep like random images and things I've used on stream in the past. Balance that with 2 good ones. This one's actually kind of cool, but still kind of cursed. Fucking hell, the AI generate... Okay, we have another one. Hold on, we have another one. We're going to call this expert PC build. That's going to be the name of the file. Okay, everyone check this shit out. Check this shit out. Here's the other major one that I was sent. Look at this. Look at this. What the fuck? It's all just on the floor. It's all just on the floor. There's bubble wrap up here. So there's 5 video cards. There are 5 video cards in this image. The motherboard is just sitting on its box. Now that's airflow. The machine spirit will hold it together. So we have, this it looks like some kind of like, you know, wood veneer Little John would use or something like that. 6 video cards, and that's the wrong mobile for the box. Wait, which one am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's the 6th one? Because this is the power supply. Is it, I don't know if it's off screen or if I'm looking at this wrong. I count 5 video cards. I'm probably just missing one somewhere, but okay, first of all, RGB RAM, so that makes this a real gaming PC build. There's one under the cabling behind the RAM. Oh my god, there is. What the fuck, dude? There is one here. Oh my god, I couldn't even see it. Look, all I'm saying is RGB RAM. Is that one dim? I think that, no, there's 2. I can see the lock is up on the other one, so I think there's 2. The brick on the bottom is the power supply. So yeah, there's the power supply. We have 6 video cards connected to this, just on the floor, for some nefarious purpose. I don't know what this is for necessarily, but it does fuck me up a lot. I'm not gonna lie. This has been traumatizing. Hold on. He sent a few others of what he calls the good ones. This feels a bit... Well, I'm just going to call this good one, and then we're going to call the other one other good one. So, I kind of fuck with these, but... Here, other good one. I kind of fuck with these. So here's the first good one. This still is, like, not attached to a case, and the cables are just kind of all spilled out on the bottom. But here's the important thing. There's a lot of lights, so that matters, right? Because if you don't have a shit ton of RGB, you're not a real gamer. So, there's a lot of lights, and that's what matters for this. So, this one's cool because there's a bunch of lights. I don't know what this little grate sticking out... Oh, wait, what the fuck? That's the fucking PCIe fucking I.O., isn't it? You just have all the fucking I.O. shields or whatever off. Or the slots for the graphics card I.O., rather. So, no liquid cooling? Oh, wait, no, yeah, there is. It's just liquid cooled with fucking cum. It's just pure white. So, it's just liquid. Okay, I get how this works. Okay, so that's the first good one. 10 frames per LED, that's true. Here's the other good one. I kind of fuck with this one. Like, it's not in a case, but I am impressed that it, like, exists. It's relatively well managed, too. I feel like you could probably compress this into, like... Yeah, Blueprint says a brick. You could probably fit this in a brick. You probably could fit this in a brick. So yeah, this whole thing is the brick. You could easily get this through an airport. Yeah, but it's portable, burns a hole in the ground. So yeah, I think this one goes off. This is a champion of small form factors, dude. What was that one Alienware console they made way back in the day when Steam machines were first coming out? Whatever the little Alienware console was, this is a champion for that era. I can't think of the name because I'm a fucking idiot, but this is what a Steam machine should be. School threat PC. I'm curious about the things in the background. Like, here's the brick, like the brick people were mentioning specifically. I don't know what that is back there. Like, there are several things in this image that I feel like I could ask a lot of questions about. Airport security, AI summary is wild. Yes, the Alienware Alpha. Thank you, Chor. That's what I was thinking of. I couldn't think of it. While I will say this, congrats to the OP of this. I don't know if they want me to say their username or not. They might get fucking threatened. But you sound like you have a cool job. This seems like it would be a lot of fun to work on, I'll say that much. Like, as much as I've been talking shit about how your PCs are fucking horrifying, because they are, and you seem very self-aware about it, you seem like you have a really fucking cool job, and it seems like it'd be really fun. But I think it'd be best to preserve the mystery of who made these. I'm hidden amongst the people. Yeah, like, I feel like it'd be best to preserve the mystery. Like, he could be any one of us. He could be any one of us. Sorry, I'm gonna finish this up. I've lost, like, fucking 20 viewers just for bringing up one that looks normal. That's tragic. Anyways. He could be any one of us, folks. We don't know. We don't know who the fucked up PC builder is. But, you sound like you have a cool job, and that seems like it'd be a lot of fun. Anyways. Now we should, like, actually play the game, probably. I didn't have a particular plan in mind for this. There's an alchemy fisher, hell yeah. As much as this place does sort of make my PC want to blow up, we'll just fuck around here and talk about stuff. That's typically how these go. I want the fucked up PC builder to teach me these builds. Can't get him no matter what. Some of that stuff, yeah. Hold on, let me wait for him to stop speaking.
Lay in mastering the elemental forces. So, Papa invented the crucibles, alchemic devices for combining the simple elemental forces into complex forces. Through the crucibles, Papa's work.
Flary is still sending me, yeah, more of these. Okay, oh god.
You need them to open a relic, but are you confident you can withstand their fury?
People are calling it names like Eldritch Abomination. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Sorry, I was just talking about the AI summaries that Flary was sending me. Okay, accessories for this one is exclusive to Sebagoth Prime Access. I don't think... I'm guessing they'll probably come back. I guess I haven't heard anything about them not. I know that they had said that they were going to keep the helmets and shit for a Protea and Gauss exclusive, which was stupid and they shouldn't do. But DE tends to not learn from certain mistakes. Oh, Fibonacci? I guess it makes sense that he would be into D&D. Okay, wait. Wait. What do you mean? I'm going to quote this chat message directly. Quote, Octavia always looked like a gay Iranian lamppost to me. What the fuck does that mean? Put Mechanicus music over it? Blueprint, if you do that, please send that shit to me. That sounds like it would be fucking hilarious. I guess to not put more Overguard. Here's the thing, like, I guess I don't know how many people here have seen the Overguard video. It was one of my better performing videos, all things considered. But platinum tier yapper I will not explain, you know, fair enough. Sorry, I'm trying to fucking, hold on. I have to close, I forgot I left my downloads folder open. when it comes to Overguard, a lot of people have made suggestions that CC should damage Overguard, and I understand the intent, or like the thought process there. I don't even necessarily know if it would be a bad solution. The reason I don't think that would be a good idea, though, is because it depends on how it's implemented, but I feel like that could really easily encourage high cast speed and high range. So if you're able to do that, you can just mash the CC so fast that you can crowd control them before they ever show up, which is kind of the same problem that high damage already permits. And I feel like when it comes to a game like Warframe, so Sevagoth is very good now that he has these 2 augments. Yeah, it's kind of gross, but that's just my personal thought on it. You can slow the overguarded enemy. Someone talked about an interesting idea. Guild Wars 2 has a mechanic where enemies have a stun meter where they're immune to CC, but the more CC effects they take builds up, and then they take more damage and are briefly stunned. I think that's a cool idea, and I think that could potentially work. But for me, the same concern of like really high. Oh, I'm fucking stupid. Really high like cast speed, I feel like could be a problem. Break bar, yeah, that's what it's called. I don't play Guild Wars, so I didn't remember the name of the mechanic. Make him go to bed. I've been trying to sleep for like the past 3 hours, dude. I got up and I made myself some fucking like chicken, and then I was like, you know what? Fuck it, dude. I'm not. We're just gonna stay up for a bit. And Warframe, but in reverse. Yeah, I guess you could put it that way. My thing with like, I talk about this a bit in the video. Like I tried. Okay, how do I put this? I need the Sevak yacht. Well, I feel like Kazette might have drank too much. Anyhow, I feel like in a game like Warframe, I didn't want to say in the video if I thought that Overguard should exist, because I felt like that would just cause people to get into arguments about something that wasn't actually relevant to what I was trying to discuss. But I feel like in this kind of game, something like Overguard kind of has to exist for enemies like Eximus units to be able to do anything. The problem is Overguard doesn't even actually accomplish its goal, because you can just kill them. So I think that having a system where CC is not made irrelevant, but can't outright shut them down is still important.
Shoot the valve to release pressure.
I'm just making them straight up immune. Yeah, I guess because like a lot of people have suggested as well that they can like take it for a percentage of the duration. The reason I don't think that's a great idea personally, and I think I bring this up in the video, is that if your duration is high enough, it doesn't really matter. Because if you just have like, for example, like a 30-second sleep, even if it's a quarter of the duration, they're still asleep for more than long enough to just kill them. That's just my opinion on the matter, but I feel like when it comes to that, I guess I want it to be more interactive, but I don't know if Warframe is the kind of game where that will work. I guess we'll just have to see. I guess my thing, too, though, is I don't expect... building for CC, though, and I agree that we should reward building for CC, but I think that making... Like I said, the purpose of Overguard is to ensure that you can't shut down an Eximus unit before you crowd control them. And some people have suggested maybe they should be able to use their abilities while crowd controlled, but they just can't attack you. I feel like that would defeat the purpose of crowd controlling the enemy, and kind of beyond that. A lot of the abilities need animations to be telegraphed, so if they can, like, for example, Blitz Eximus units, right? If you can't see it coming, it's gonna be just really annoying. I don't know, it's a kind of a complicated thing. Like, I'm no game designer. I only put forward the solutions I did in the video because I felt like it was really hollow to, you know, say like, oh, this system's bad, and then not say anything about how it could be better. That just feels really shallow. I feel like a lot of people, just in general, I think I might have talked about this on Sci-Fi's thing, actually. For those who don't know, the channel Sci-Fi Freak had me over on his channel for a like little podcast type thing he does called Top Hat Culture, and we talked about some stuff on there. But a lot of people will say like fix your game, but they won't actually explain what they mean by that. And I feel like that's always just kind of come off to me as really shallow feedback. I am playing this game like a fucking idiot. I am 7.5 minutes in and I haven't done the first one. But I feel like that's just shallow feedback, like fix your game and then just no elaboration on what the issue is, how to fix it. I feel like that just rings hollow. Like, a big part of why so much of the Overguard video is trying to go into depth about, like, sort of the history of its expansion and why I think it's a problem in certain environments is because I want to outline very clearly, like, the way I made the video was with the frame of mind that I was making it for a developer. I don't ever expect them to see it, but that was the frame of mind I went into, because I wanted to make it something that was clear to, you know, explain why I had the opinion I had. And so I put myself in that mindset of, like, this is, you know, my target audience is the developers. So in doing that, I tried to sort of walk through, like, here's why I think it's an issue in these environments, and here's how I think you could potentially tone it down. The truth of the matter is I'm not a game developer. Whether or not any of my suggestions would be good, I couldn't say, because I can't test them. That's kind of a big thing that I want to point out as well, is that, like, I can make these suggestions in a vacuum, but I can't actually experiment with any of them. So, like, these could be good solutions. They could be complete shit. I have no idea. I can't test them for myself. And I think it's important to mention that as well. Like, I can throw out ideas and I can talk about my theory as to why they might work or not work. But I also feel like it's not a thing I can make a definitive statement on. And yeah, I agree. Like, I think that contributing the ideas is a valuable thing, but I don't want to talk like it's the right idea. Because some players get in this very... I don't know how to put it. A mindset of, like, they're correct, I guess. And don't get me wrong, I have opinions when it comes to this game even, where I feel like if they were implemented, it would just be an improvement for the game. I absolutely think that, but I also feel like some people get so stuck, like... I don't know how to put this without being mean, because what I want to say is that they have their head up their own ass, because I feel like they do, but that's not a very constructive way to put it. But that's kind of the... Jesus Christ, dude, I am really struggling. That's kind of the vibe that I get, I guess. Some people get very, you know, I have the correct opinion on this thing. The nature of opinions is that that's not possible, but this is lost on people very regularly in my experience, so it's not really worth trying to explain it to them much of the time. And I don't feel like it's necessarily... How do I put this? Like, I get it. Sometimes you have a topic you get really passionate about, and so you just kind of convince yourself you have the right idea. Hacking a test server from the 80s, they plan to make Xmas only kill by hitting weak spots. Yeah, there actually, fun fact, used to be a test server. There was one for Railjack. I think it was Railjack Retrofit. That test server never came back, and I'm pretty sure the majority of the bugs found in it weren't fixed on release. So, I don't know what the point of it was. He looks a little gay, but anything to make the princess happy. I have an image I have to find in a second. Don't let me forget when I finish this mission, Evelyn. I have an image I have to find relating to that. The point of this very long-winded Cool Kid rant is I don't want it to seem like I have the correct answer about necessarily anything, and I think it's a big problem in the gaming community as a whole to download your opinions from content creators or people on Reddit. Warframe 2001 when? Okay, Sabuchi just released his video about which Warframes could stop 9/11. I'm just saying, maybe it'll happen. Find a solution for Y2K. Oh god, here's the gas leak in question that Kazette was talking about. What is the... Kazette, I think you might need to drink some water. I don't know how I was doing normal melee attacks there. I will yap for 7 hours. Sabuchi moment. Hold on, I have to... Dude, fucking Christ, I am struggling to read and play the game at the same time. Unfortunately for me, alchemy does actually require, like, a modicum of attention to be paid to it, and it's not working out for me. Hold on, I'm... fucking hell. I'm receiving Discord DMs. Juggling this is incredibly challenging. Reminder, thank you, Evelyn. I'm just gonna, yeah, gas leak all these guys. What? Okay, I have to find these. Flooded part of it with water. I also will say, am I obsessed with BioShock? Not really, but I do love BioShock. BioShock 2 is probably in my top 10 favorite games of all time. Like, I love all of the BioShock games for different reasons. Also, I don't think I'll need necessarily any help. I'm just playing like a fucking idiot. If this guy would stop knocking me over, that'd be fantastic. Why are you teleporting me? I'm in the same room as you. I'm in your own line of sight, for fuck's sake. What the am I tweaking? What is going on here? Sir? Okay, so... Okay, now he wants to take damage again. He keeps knocking me over. Fuck you. Anyways, that was a little weird. He can send enemies to the rift and no one hit the tower. I would say take it up with Sabuchi. I have no strong opinions on the topic. Maybe I should stream BioShock 2 again soon. I mean, I'd recommend it. I like BioShock 2 a lot. It was funny, I talked to a coworker and he was like, yeah, I really like BioShock. You know, like, how'd you feel about Infinite? And I was like, oh yeah, have you played Minerva's Den? And he's like, what? And I'm like, the DLC for BioShock 2. And he's like, that game had a DLC? And I'm like, yes? Minerva's Den is also peak. Couldn't take damage. Top 10 Warframe funny moments, I suppose. I don't know what that shit was about. Able to destroy the towers first? No, I don't think that was a condition. Look, whenever Sab streams next, you can inquire for him. That is a really weird distressed pipe location. For awesome concepts. Okay, is anyone here familiar with the BioShock 2 ARG? Does anyone here know about this? It was honestly really cool. There was a BioShock 2 ARG, I think it was called Forgotten at Sea or something like that, Lost at Sea, and it was the story of a, where were you on 9/11? I wasn't born yet, but it was like Lost at Sea for something like that, but there was a really cool ARG for BioShock 2 leading up to its release. Basically, it was a story of a father whose daughter went missing near the coast, and he was trying to find her. And you can actually... The ARG concludes with audio logs in the game. It's really interesting, actually. I highly recommend looking at it. There's a video I watched about it. How many runs do you plan on doing? I don't have a particular goal in mind. But it's really, really cool. Fun fact, Halo 2 also had an ARG about a website called ilikebees.com. And it was actually an AI that got sent into the past and was trying to communicate through the website. I think it actually won an award as like a really revolutionary viral marketing campaign. My brother did a whole presentation on it one time for a college thing. Yeah, I love bees. And like there was a thing where like around the world different payphones would ring at different times and people would have to answer pick them up and answer questions that were given to them through the ARG. It was all super cool. Mirror's Edge ARG, I actually am not that familiar with that one. Someone in a tornado for the ARG. I'm not entirely familiar. For reference as well, ARG stands for Alternate Reality Game. It's kind of difficult to explain what that means. I love bees like the animal, yeah. Bees like the bug, like the bzz, like the bug. The guys who like the bee movie, that kind of thing. I Love Bees is still up. That goes hard as fuck. I Love Beans. You should play BioShock 2 again. I'd love to watch. I hate to tell you this, Lena. You're probably the only person that would love to watch. If I stream anything non-Warframe, it's impressive if I crack 20 viewers. I Love Corn. Iowa moments. Baldur's Gate 3 had an ARG. It's just a group game replaced the detective trying to find Dark Urge. Like, ARGs in general are one of those things that I feel like have kind of gone too... Like, there's too many of them. Like, their novelty has started to wear off for me. Fortunately, we've kind of migrated away from ARGs as the horror craze into, like, analog horror. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of analog horror these days isn't amazing either. Like, some of it's still really cool, and very interesting. But I feel like a lot of modern analog horror struggles to capture the magic of things like Local 58 and the stuff that came before it. There's still like some cool stuff. Like the Oldest View is a really interesting. I say analog horror sort of with air quotes because like it is, but I feel like it's kind of reductive to call it that, I guess. But I don't really get ARGs anymore because I'm a puzzle enjoyer. Is digital, fair enough. But play other things, the sooner you get more viewers on non-Warframe stuff. Here's the funny thing, that statistically doesn't happen. Like, I'm not trying to shut you down by saying this or, like, be, like, a smartass about this, but Sabuchi actually ran the numbers on it, and it's, like, it was, like, almost 90%, I think? Certainly more than 80. I think almost 90% of people who, watch Warframe content only watch Warframe content in terms of, like, that sphere. So, like, specifically on platforms like Twitch and, like, live streams. So the odds of you breaching out beyond that are incredibly small, unfortunately. 90% of people could stop 9/11, true. A second railjack has hit the Unum. Dude, when I first played the new war, that was the first thing I said when the Murex hits the Unum. I just blurted that shit out. A second Murex has hit the Unum. All my friends thought it was pretty funny when they were watching me, but it was pretty bad, I'll say that much. The twin Unums. Try doing Destiny content, it kind of tanked. I don't actually know. Someone told me, because for those of you, I guess I don't know who all here has watched my most recent video, but I did a video for, like, a sequel to Weird Status Effects. I made a joke about how, like, Mag is still maligned by, like, a decade-old meme from Shy. I don't watch the Warhammer podcast that she's on. What is it, like Adeptus Ridiculous or something like that, I think it's called. I don't watch it, and I have no negative feelings towards Shy, like, personally, but apparently someone alleges that she still trashes Mag on that podcast. I don't know if this is true. Take that with a grain of salt, obviously. But at the same time, like, if so, why? Like, not only did she not play the game, but she hasn't been involved in the community for several years. Like, it's because Bricky is on it. Fair enough, with Bricky and DK. For the longest time, she considered Mag to just be a bad Warframe. And, like, I can't necessarily argue that for a long time she was kind of weak, but they've buffed her so many times since she ran that meme that it's just not true anymore. And she still pushes that meme, and it has, or I guess she did push that meme, and it still has a negative effect on her reputation. Which I think is sad. Because, like, she's a cool character. Especially now. I have no idea about DK. I don't either. I never really watched DK. What frame do you think needs a rework in best frame for Steel Path? Best frame for Steel Path, I'd put that at the feet of either Octavia or Dante. I would say, personally, if I had to pick, Dante, purely because you actually have to play the game. Octavia, you can literally AFK macro the game with her. There are several really good frames for Steel Path, but I'd say Dante's probably the best all-arounder. And then frame most in need of a rework, that several frames are in desperate need of one. People be saying anything to convince people that Mag is good and the comments are not having it. That's rough. Think about D2 creators covering Warframe. So here's the funny thing. Every time that Destiny 2 goes through a controversy, this happens. You have a bunch of refugees come from Destiny 2, and then they play the game for like 2 weeks and then go back to Destiny. Here's the thing that pisses me off. Evan F., who is a guy who he's basically like the Nova Umbral of the Destiny community, did a video on Warframe, and the first minute of his video is nothing but fucking story spoilers. He has literally the most important story spoiler in the whole game. The second dream scene with the Lotus and the Operator is in the first 30 seconds. What the actual fuck, dude? You're showing this to an audience that have presumably never played this game, and you're showing them the best plot twist in the entire story. TFT adding multi-forma slots? No, but I'll be real with you because I don't know why you would assume I would. I don't keep up with the First Ascendant. But Evan F's video, the first minute of it is nothing but story cutscenes, and it pisses me off so much. caring about story. I mean, their game story is fractured and fucked up too, but like, it just makes me mad. Because like, dude, Warframe's story, I think, is genuinely great. Oh, what the fuck? When did you spawn? Where am I? Why do you keep teleporting me? Fuck off, maybe? Is that fucking incredible? Like, it does. Their game story is fractured, but I think it's good. I think it's just hard to get into if you're a newer player, because so much of it is basically you have to go read about it, and that's kind of the way you ingest it, which sucks. Like, I watched all of the cutscenes from Season of the Witch recently, and I'm like, damn, I wish that I actually would have done this content, because this looks really cool. Where? There we go. One of the best parts of the Warframe experience. Like, legitimately, I think Warframe's story... I've made my opinion on this known before. To me, the original cinematic quest trio, Second Dream, War Within, Sacrifice, is peak Warframe story. It is legitimately all incredible. And to have that stuff spoiled, like, for me, the Second Dream plot twist, like, I know I'm going full, like, Warframe boomer, sucking off the Second Dream still, but, like, that's still probably one of my, like, the biggest mind blows I've had in a video game, because it was something that was never really addressed. Like, I played the Second Dream when it came out, and it was just like, what are the Tenno exactly? And there were hints about it, but getting to see it was such a cool thing. Also, see you, Elena. Thanks for stopping by. So, to have that moment for people who haven't gotten to experience it yet, like, ruined for them, just fucking sucks. And, like, don't get me wrong, this is unfortunately a big problem these days in general with Warframe. The operator has been around for so long that people just, like, assume everyone knows about them. But, like, when I have new friends play this game, I deliberately try to avoid using my operator or ever mentioning the mechanic exists, because I want them to have that moment, because it was such a meaningful thing to me to have that moment. Like, that was the point where I feel like I really fell in love with Warframe as a game from a story perspective, was the Second Dream. And I'll be honest, the game has never hit a narrative execution that hard on the head ever since. The whole thing is executed start to finish so fucking well. Don't get me wrong, War Within is great, the Sacrifice is great, but I don't think that they land it as well as the Second Dream does. Even though they do still land it all very well. Dude, I'm getting my fucking ass beat trying to read chat right now. I'm a fucking lobotomite. Once again, I'm very, very tired. Always check teammates' MR before hitting 5. Honestly, fair enough. Because Duviri is accessible super early on. That's true, but I feel like them seeing the Drifter and not knowing how to obtain it. And I guess I should also mention as well, Duviri is not actually accessible that much earlier than the Second Dream anymore. They moved it from Saturn to Uranus, so it is literally one junction before Second Dream now. So that's not as big of a deal, but it did get moved. Project Moon community, Library of Arena's plot is so ingrained in community's conscious, literally most likely to be introduced to the fandom via spoiler. Fun fact, that's also a thing with Signalis, apparently. You guys know Signalis, the lesbian robot game? The whole lesbian part is a huge fucking story spoiler, according to my brother. I didn't know that. That's just what everyone calls it. Wait, what happened to Duviri being starter content? They moved it from being starter to being right after Boar's Prize, and they moved it even further. For the exact reason everyone thought they would, because starting the game with something so different from core Warframe meant that you could get hooked on a game that wasn't Warframe, essentially. Lesbian robot Silent Hill. Thanks for the spoiler. All I'm going to say is if you even look up Signalis, that's what people will call it. It is such a common spoiler that, like, me saying it doesn't hardly spoil anything. You can't avoid it.
Do it again.
Emma Go Die Now, thanks for stopping by, Kazette. Oh, this is really fucking strong. Sorry, I'm drinking some fucking flavored water. It is very flavored. They should have kept Holvania up. I wish. Such a big reveal as well. Yeah. Like, I hate that that got ruined for me, because I actually have seen a very small snippet of the scene where it's revealed, and it looks... Like, I haven't gotten to that point in my Signalis playthrough. Don't tell Swan I'm talking about Signalis. He really wants me to finish the game, and I really want to as well. I just am trying to find the right time for it. But I thought the Phantom was being weird. Play Deadlock yet? No, I have not. I'm not huge into PvP games. I like some, but not a lot of them. I don't know, like, when it comes to, like... Okay, that reminds me of something. You got a Discipline's Merit? Oh shit, I actually did. Nice. Best Tennokai mod. There was a video I had seen where it was, like, Warframe all-emotional story cutscenes. And I'm sitting there like... Okay. That's not, like, wrong, but, like, how are you supposed to feel the emotion of the cutscenes if you didn't get to the point where the cutscene happens, and so you don't know any of the context? Because there's a lot of story that is not captured in the cutscenes. I don't know, that's just my thought on that. Discords are very depraved, they're just warped. Yeah, and okay. Chat, I have a question to ask you all. Can I get semi-political for a second about something? Can we get a little bit political as a treat on my stream for a second? A woman looking desperately for another woman? No. I'm saying slightly political. I just have I think I want to make a comment on. We're seeing actually a pretty even split between yeses and nos. The character can have a little politics as a treat. Look, if the chat sentiment is relatively split, I might just say no. This is in particular to just video game communities being weird about certain things. I'm saying vaguely political because, unfortunately, anything LGBT related is considered political for whatever reason in the modern landscape. So I don't want to talk about it if it makes people feel uncomfortable. Because, like, people consider that political. And as much as I think that's stupid, it's just reality. Go ahead. Okay, so here's the thing I have to ask, chat. Why is it that whenever there is a queer character in a video game that doesn't suck, I feel like the community always gets really weird about them? I'm not saying this to be mean, I just feel like it's a weird trend I've noticed. Like, even in communities, like, people talk about how Gabriel from Ultra Kill is gay. There has been absolutely no inclination in the game's story this is the case. People just say that shit. And, like, I think it's kind of funny, but people can just get weird about it, I guess. I don't know really how to put it. At the same time, though, I can also understand it from the perspective of, like, up until recently, that kind of representation wasn't really a condom thing. Or, like, condom, what the fuck? Common. I don't know why I said condom thing there, Jesus Christ. Common thing. So, I get the idea of, like, you have a well-written queer character, holy shit, like it actually happened. But, yes, condom thing. Gabriel is not a good... I know, I'm just making that as an offhand comment. As an offhand condom, if you will. Oh, I'm gonna fucking die to these toxin bombs. But, like, I think Signalis is a genuinely good example. People just, like, entering, like, this sort of a really weird headspace about it, where the game has kind of just been reduced to that element. But we need more condoms in this world. I can't disagree with that blueprint. Hungry ass thinking about condoms again? Fucking hell. I wish Ticker got the same treatment. Yeah, I feel like... I don't know, like I said, like, it's not a common thing. I actually watched a really interesting video about, like... So are you guys familiar with the Hays Code? There was this thing back up until, like, the 60s in cinema called the Hays Code. I actually think it was written in the 60s, but it was used after that. But there was a thing called the Hays Code. So the Hays Code was a thing in Hollywood for the longest time that basically said, here are things you can't do because they violate society's morals. And one of the things was, you can't depict queer people, essentially, but you also can't depict queer traits positively, which led to this really interesting trend of a lot of characters being, like, sort of queer-coded, which, for those, this is, like, political brain shit, I feel like I'm saying. For those who don't know, that's someone who, like, exhibits certain traits that would be stereotypically associated with something like that, but they're never expressly said to be that way. And so a lot of villains had these sort of, you know, stereotypical traits tied to them, and it led to sort of an interesting culture about that. So, like, Scar and Cruella de Vil are two good examples of, like, very queer-coded characters because of the Hays Code. I'm gonna be honest, the queer villain thing is a fucking aesthetic. I fuck with that shit. Cruella de Vil had great fashion sense, at the very least. That was probably why they made her gay, actually. Scar is not gay. I'm not saying that Scar is gay. I'm saying he shows traditionally feminine traits. Let me put it that way. Traits like driving a Subaru. Real. Shout out to Ursula. That's honestly another good example. Let me say, Scar could be gay. It's never really stated, but you can't deny he is more effeminate than any other male lion. Regardless of that, though, I think that that's just an interesting thing. Like I said, a bit political. I just think that's interesting. After the code was disbanded, Lion King was in the early 90s, right? I'm pretty sure that it was still, like, in the cultural... Like, even if the code wasn't officially adhered to, it was still in the cultural conscience for a while. What effeminate traits? I'd say look for the video. Or, hell, honestly, watch the movie. There are certain ways that Scar acts and the ways he moves that no one else in the movie does. Am I saying that Scar is, you know, an F-slur? No, but I feel like once you hear about it, you kind of look for the video, how to script. I can't remember what it's called, and I feel like I can't explain it without the movie in front of me. Because a lot of it comes down to the way he moves or talks or acts, and it's hard to, like, be like, oh, here's a great example of that. But will you fashion up your Sevagoth Prime? I already have fashion on my Sevagoth Prime. Dude, I'm getting my fucking ass beaten. What the fuck is going on? I am in hell. I cannot read chat and do this. I don't have the mental faculties to play this fucking easy-ass video game without dying. Alright, time for the kill everyone button. Who wants to hold the tungsten cube? I do. I think this is our first looped acolyte. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, that's not good. I have a stack of transference. Yep, okay. I'm at the point where I'm just, like, eating shit. Pay Plat for more revives. I might just have to dip out of this mission, dude. I'm getting my ass beat because I can't pay attention. I need a frame that's more brain dead. Sevagoth doesn't even require that much brain power. That's the worst part. Slam Wukong. Not that brain dead. Not just a one-trick meme pony. Yeah, I agree. Use Octavia. That also was too brain dead. I'm thinking like Mesa brain dead. On what Warframes could stop 9/11. I did see it. Any opinions on that should go to him. Here's what the very root. I feel like my issue with difficult content in Warframe is that a lot of it relies on randomness. Particularly EDA relies on randomness. But I don't think Warframe will ever be hard, necessarily. I see support woke culture. I know it's a different thing in different countries. Like, as far as I've heard, apparently in South Korea, the, like, culture war is very focused on things like feminism, which is interesting. Just bullshit. I mean, I feel like on some level I agree. To a merchant was to rescue from a lioness, a she-wolf, and a leopard. Real. Also, yeah, dude, shit, we got a fucking... This is a W that I got the Discipline's Merit. That is a pretty valuable arcane. Lion King 2 even popular? Lion King 2 I think was a straight-to-home movie. I've watched Lion King 2. It's, like... Let me say this. The Lion King, the original, is one of my favorite movies, and I will die on the hill that it is not a remake of Hamlet, and that's, in my view, rumor pisses me off a lot. Same with that it was a ripoff of Kimba. That is also completely untrue, and YMS is like a great 2-hour video about why that's complete nonsense. But, Mater from Cars is gay. He's played by Larry the Cable Guy, so... Before Second Dream and New World was a puzzle that got solved with every quest. It does make more sense over time. Get your image now? That's true. Have a cousin or something? Fever Dream-ass movie. So, the plot of Lion King 2, basically, is that Scar had children, so he wasn't actually gay. I guess we can say that definitively. And one of them basically falls in love with Simba's daughter. That's the plot in a nutshell. It's nothing special. Bisexual? Fuck, maybe. AI summary? Hold on. Viewers are commenting on a streamer's sexuality, the upcoming 9/11 anniversary, and the relative ease of playing a certain Warframes. Thank you, AI chat summary. That is exactly what we were speaking on. Isn't that incest? It could be. I would say probably not. Because there's a different lioness, too, and she's the main antagonist. It's like... also, thank you for the, I don't know, resub, remember, whatever, the goober. I appreciate it. The Scar's wife, air quotes, is the antagonist of the film. Lion King 1.5. I will say this. Lion King 1.5 is fucking great. Like, Lion King 1 is a great movie because it's got great narrative. Also, that's what the Drifters knew was. Holy shit, Drifter in space made it better. That's a fair opinion. I don't like that they introduce transference that early, but they'd be cousins. Actually, no. Because Scar is... Let me think about this. Scar is Mufasa's brother, but I guess it also depends on, did they have the same parents, or like a single same parent? They would still be cousins, it would just be less bad that way. Frankly, Simba and Nala are also siblings. Like, if you think about it, Mufasa was the only male lion there, so I'm reasonably certain that Simba and Nala would have to be related as well. But who knows? Capable of lifting entire mountains. There's a god tree, and the Pride Land have an air force. Mufasa got freaky, I guess you could say that. Does a lion need to live on bugs? Y'all be wildin'. Scar Mufasa anyway, not related. I guess I don't know the deep lore of the Lion King. If they were, like, you know, brothers in some, like, you know, blood sense, or if they're, you know, something else. It doesn't really matter, I guess. The point I'm trying to make is, Lion King 1 is a great movie because it's a great story. Lion King 2 drops the ball in a lot of ways. I think just every aspect of it really is worse. Lion King 1.5 is legitimately fucking hilarious and is a good story. It's not as strong as the Lion King story, but it's still a good story, and I think it's really funny. 1 billion lions versus every Warframe. I mean, that is a lot of lions. It's getting yet another sequel. Are they making another, like, live-action Lion King, or a sequel to, like, the Lion King 2? To prove dominance? So, like, I mean, yeah, maybe Simba was a little homosexual. Video games were peak? Yeah, dude, I agree. Because of gay erasure? Making a live-action movie about Scar? Dude, they fucking... When they made the live-action Lion King, they wanted to remove the song Be Prepared because it was too authoritarian. That was the whole point of the fucking song. Like, if you've watched the original Lion King, like, developer commentary stuff that came with, like, the re-release of it, they wanted to use a bunch of fascist imagery in that part with Scar because he's the fucking villain. That was the whole point of the scene. Double beard? Yeah, my Dante is tweaking at the moment. But, like, that was the point. They talked about how, like, they were trying to invoke certain emotions with the colors and imagery, and that was the point of the song, and they wanted to remove it, and then they kind of shoehorned it in the live-action one last minute because of outrage. I believe there's also a new song in the movie. I might be thinking of The Little Mermaid. I know one of them has a new song that just doesn't fit in the movie at all and has no reason to be there, but I think they have good motivation to be misunderstood. Because portrayal is endorsement. Real and true. Yeah, like, Scar is a fucking villain. That's the entire point. He's evil. He fucking killed his brother to take the throne and then brags about it to his son. Or, you know, to his brother's son, so his nephew, who thought it was his fault for years. Like, that's the point. Gonna make a film for Warframe on live action? Probably not. Stop being a furry. You're not a furry if you've seen the fucking Lion King, dude. That's not even fair. Like, if you wanted to say I was a furry for watching something like Beastars, that's completely reasonable. You can accuse me of that. The Lion King? That's fucking cheating. Have you ever seen Atlantis? When I was young, yes. I don't remember much of it, though. if you watch Lion King / Guard, you are a furry. Lion Guard is something I haven't ever seen, and that's not even fair. Like, Lion King is one of the classic Disney Renaissance movies. I will say, what was it? Okay, hold on. Titan AE. Has anyone here seen the film Titan AE? I think that's what it was called. Let me look it up real quick. Titan AE. I think I'm thinking of the right film. Yeah, Titan AE. That shit was peak. That was a good movie. What's wrong with Beastars? Nothing. It's a great show. I'm just saying, if you're going to call me a furry for seeing the first season of Beastars. Play it now or else? No, I fucking hate Dog Days. I'm done with the grind for it. I have everything I want. I do not want to see it until next year. My take on Soulframe, haven't played it that much, to be honest with you. Beastars is so yay. I mean, I can't deny that. You guys play Dog Days? Unfortunately, yes. Let's do a run of Duviri. Who do I have? Vogman, Wukong, Grendel, Banshee, and Rhino. Maybe let's not do a run of Duviri. What level are you? I'm currently the highest mastery rank available. MR4. Objectively, aggressively heterosexual. That entire scene where Louis tells Legoshi to bite him, that shit is not straight. You can't convince me. There's something going on there, okay? There's something going on there, brother. I don't know what else to tell you. Or sister, or non-binary individual. I guess I don't know. The scene in Beastars where, Louis gets really self-conscious about being a prey animal and tells Legoshi to bite him is some of the gayest shit I've ever seen. Anyways. Would you rather be sticky or itchy forever? I'd rather kill myself. Anyways. Is a man and woman being super horny about each other? That's kind of reductive, because a lot of the... I don't know. I haven't seen the second season of Beastars. Operator only run? I guess I could. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do the sortie. Why not? But, I haven't seen the second season of Beastars, and I feel like it got kind of ridiculous towards the end, but Beastars is a show that basically uses animals to make an exaggerated allegory about society, and I think it does that very well. It's kind of like a thing that Zootopia kind of tried to do, but, more mature, I guess. And I like it for that reason. Then there's the, the end feels kind of ridiculous, I guess. The end of the season felt kind of ridiculous. It kind of strayed away from what I liked about the show, but it was still good. Now, when it comes to the few animes I've watched, the third season of Death Note fucking sucks, but the first two seasons are good. Well, season 1 is fantastic, S-tier television. Season 2 is okay and saves it at the end. Season 3 is fucking stupid. And those are the only two animes I've watched, are Death Note and Beastars' first season. Aiko for not having Zaku Prime. It honestly does suck. I do hope Zaku's next, even if deep down, I want it to be Lavos. I think Zaku deserves it. No Sevagoth Prime Trail? Yeah, they're not going to release one, unfortunately. Lavos being skipped. Technically, Lavos could still be the December one, but if it becomes Zaku, then yeah, Lavos would get pushed back, which sucks. Lavos is probably my favorite character in the game if I had to pick one. Figure out how the Death Note works. That's actually an interesting question. I feel like Nyx probably could, because she can read people's minds. When's Caliban Prime? I think he should be slated for end of next year, start of the year after. If they don't skip again. Something like that. Oh, right, Evelyn... Hold on, fuck. I forgot about the image. I just remembered. Evelyn told me to show the image and I forgot about it. Just being a fragment of the Prime Frames that made him up. Honestly, the Prime Frame lore doesn't make sense in a lot of cases. For example, Revenant Prime's trailer straight up acknowledges that there's no real lore reason he exists, and that it upsets Ballas that he even exists. They just kind of make reasons up. Extra power strength gets you their social security number. Do those Warframe have operators? If so, did they die when the frame died? It's kind of an outdated concept. There used to be a concept in Warframe called Oro that was the essence of well, Warframes, and if it was absorbed or destroyed, they would die. I would say that maybe that's still like a thing, but it's never really brought up again, and I feel like it's kind of been soft retconned out of the story. My guess is that the Warframe would have become, like, unrecoverable. Why did my game do that? The fuck? Okay, that was weird. Isn't Oro just Kuva? I don't know how they've sort of retooled it if they have. Oro is a Conclave reference. It used to actually have story significance. Conclave, I know Conclave's still in the game, but, like, Oro used to be a part of the narrative. Now it's just basically the Conclave thing. Thank you for this image, Evelyn. Let me grab the image I was talking about. So when Evelyn's the thing of, like, you know, he looks a little gay, but whatever makes the princess happy. Let me find it. I think it's... Is the image still called Gay Fucker on my PC? It is. This. Just this. Anyways. That was the image I wanted to find. Learn more about content droughts. Yeah, I think, I'll be honest, Warframe is kind of currently experiencing a content drought, but I play other things when I kind of get bored. Your profile picture is a caracal? Yes. It is, as a matter of fact. What's the next one? Sabotage? Yeah. To make that your profile picture in your channel? My friend Rose drew these. She and I have been friends since high school. We went to the same high school. Remember this? God damn, Evelyn. Why did you have to remind me of this image? I still don't know what it means. We're getting a Nightwave in 4 days. And that's true. My thing with that, though, is that there is kind of a limit on how much you can progress through it at any given time.
Operator, you certainly have an eye for strategic targets.
I am looking forward to the new Nightwave, though. But, like, for me, I'm mostly just kind of waiting on the October update. That's where I'm kind of sitting for, like, you know, really going hard at playing the game more often. But my brother in Christ plays something else. Yeah, like, I have almost 9,000 hours in this game now on Steam. I'll be fully honest with you all. A good chunk of those are just me standing in my orbiter doing nothing. But get moddable Stalker to go with Nightwave? Probably not. We do know that we're going to be getting an augment for Dread and Hate, which is exciting. They got leaked, but I don't think that the leaked versions are probably not going to be the release ones, because the last two augments also got leaked, the ones for Sobek and Glaxian, and they were not the same when they released. Isn't its own stories anymore? That does honestly suck. Well, suck on the Zeraman. I'm going to say hopefully not. Despair fans seething. Yeah, this is now the second time that a throwing knife weapon has been left out from its set. Rest in peace, Fusilier Prime. Mods are viewable in-game. Are they currently chat linkable? Like I said, I know that they were for a while for the last batch, but they got changed when they actually released. Or is it an interim? It's the Stalker-themed one. Purposely leaks wrong stuff. That would be base. I'm trying to catch up for a second. Can be seen in the incomplete section. Oh, okay, interesting. Saving up for Despair Incarnate. I mean, that already exists in your unacquired mods. Does it show the effect, or does it just show the name? I'd have to, I guess I can look in a second. Do you think we can one day use Stalker as an A-frame? I think it'd be cool, but I don't think they're going to. Other than maybe a Stalker mode at some point, but Be the Stalker was shown off such a long time ago. Need that vibe. They actually released a guide during TennoCon, or right before maybe, that was about how to make, like, a design guide for how to make Entrati-themed TennoGens. Hopefully we will soon. For the time it took to make. Lotus Eaters was just kind of like a, I don't know, a whatever. It was basically Sevagoth Prime. That was really what the update was. I don't think it was ever meant to be anything huge. I wish there was more code fixes in it for things, but... So many players would experience the same way we did. I wish, but yeah. Is there any Garuda lore yet? No. called Echoes of Jade, real and true. Not even an Echoes update would have had more content, but like I said, I feel like they're saving pretty much all of the big stuff for the October update. Basically a prelude to war, yeah, and like they renamed Frumentarius. Dude, thank fuck he is not Frumentarius. But I expected that because they made it very clear on the dev shorts it was a prelude quest, but the marketing didn't make that clear to people. Hollow Knight fans versus Garuda fans. I'd say Hollow Knight fans. Fruity Mentaurus, true.
Success. Core melt initiated. In a few brief moments.
No, I doohickey? I don't think so.
Suggest running for your life.
To the phone before we get the 1999 release. So I guess we'll just kind of have to see. I forgot what it means. Yeah, go fucking figure, Evelyn. I don't think anyone knows what it means. So they've already announced the name of the next frame and the name of the update. We don't know what she'll be like. Who's Frumentarius? There was a big 1999 leak that said that the new Warframe was going to be named Frumentarius, but that was actually the development name for Site 09. Steve said that it was a spider frame. According to Rebecca, that wasn't actually true. He was just joking around. And players of the game gets more updates than it actually does. I feel like they were just like, you know, here's a little story thing. Here's the Prime Access. But they marketed it like it was going to be a proper update, and it just wasn't. They're saving all the big stuff for the next major one, I think. So yeah, I can check the new mod. I just want to grab let's take Frost. Why not? Let's see. So they're in the unacquired section. I don't have a ton of unacquired mods. I still do have several, but, you know. Okay, back. No, let me do sort by duplicates. I don't have voltage sequence. Yeah, pH, weakening strike, and scattering strike. Interesting. Best place from Ayatan Sculptures. Realistically, Arbitrations.
Operator, were you
That's the best one I know of, at least.
Me too.
The effects are in the mod console. Oh, can you preview them there? Can I actually search the pH? I can. View Conclave mods. This one was kind of very ass. Like I said, personally, I had my expectations set correctly because I had seen, like, I had seen the dev shorts where they made it a lot more clear. Before Steve's comment. If you mean in the mod console, I don't know, where can you even see unacquired mods in this thing? I don't know how much I care, honestly. Like, so there's a decent chance they may change the effect before they release, because that happened to the Sobek and the Galaxian ones. I've seen the leaked, like, images of what they do. The incomplete tab. Oh yeah, I forget about this thing. Where is that again? I need a second. Duplicates. Yeah, incomplete. A lot of these are just going to be Conclave mods. Yeah, inflicting heat status effects on enemies with hate increases the status damage on them. And hitting 3 or more enemies with a single projectile grants you invisibility, while invisible increase critical damage by 100. Like, these might change. I guess we'll have to see. It looks like the other ones, like the, those got leaked, and that was just kind of that, because they did change. But you haven't grinded Conclave? No. Say, a lot of these are just random augments. Thunder Miter. Oh, okay. Will stay the same. Yeah, probably. Sudden Justice. Soul Survivor. Rhyme Vault. The fact that you can only use these in Conclave is fucking stupid. What is pH? I don't actually remember. It was explained once, but I can't remember what it stands for off the top of my head. Soul Survivor. Oh yeah, placeholder. Yeah, that's right. They also showed one time that all of their mods in development that they used for generic things just had the name and like flavor text Rafflecopter, I think it was. That was pretty funny. Prepare thyself. I think it's funny when people got fucking flashbanged by the Minos appearing in the most recent video. Placeholder is one word. Yeah, but it's a two-part thing. Like, sometimes people will abbreviate two-part words like that. Because it's a, what is it, a conjunction of two words? Whatever the official term is. So, it can be valuable to have both, so it's more clear. Why is your ship so gay? I don't even know what you mean by that. What is happening in the camera on the bottom left? That's who's playing the game. I haven't been playing this entire time.
I'm in, Tenno.
Oh, this is an energy reduction. I wasn't paying attention. It's fine. My frost is very efficiency-oriented, but we'll make do. News talking about not being Johnny's best voice acting. I think it's okay, but I will miss the old actor. The old Stalker voice was just really menacing, but I feel like they want to characterize him more, so he sounds more like a normal person. An operator only one isn't that difficult, especially against the Corpus. Especially if you're using Matarai or Unairu, honestly, too. It's just boring. Conclave son or Frame Fighter daughter or operator. I use Drifter because I don't want to play as the child. That's the reason. That's the entire reason. Get all new frames now. I think they brought it up to Caliban, but Frame Fighter has also been bugged for ages where your controls will randomly break. And that's just it.
We are finished here. Move on.
Being tall, you know, fair enough.
Proceed and prepare.
Have to learn to talk, that's true. Frame Fighter is unplayable. Genuinely, if the bug happens to you, you literally can't do anything but walk back and forth. And it's been this way for years. They've just never fixed it. The one Japanese operator, you know, fair enough.
Here is a terminal.
It's a bit hard to keep up with the chat.
To defend.
I'm basically trying to play Warframe in my peripheral vision while I read.
I'm in, Tenno.
I'm going to depend on a coconut PNG. It probably already does. Dojo PvP? Dude, Dojo PvP is fucking hilarious. I used to play with my cousin Nick, and what we would do is we would set up, like, we would both take Quanta Vandal, and then in the round, when you're invincible, we just spam as many cubes as possible, so that, you know, as soon as the round started, one of us would blow up and die. It was fucking awesome. To an anime fighter, you know, fair enough. Drifter's melee, any amp? Yeah. They actually talked about potentially letting Drifter melee being used outside of Duviri, but who knows? I don't know if it'd be that good outside of Duviri.
Continue to defend.
Got soft locked in the loading menu. Frame Fighter. I can show it. Frame Fighter is a little side game that you can play. Remember Regal Iabs. I will say this. I think Warframe is a great free-to-play game, but it does have its issues, but people in the Warframe community get bogged down by a shit ton of, like, negativity. Does Warframe have its problems? Yes, I talk about them fairly regularly, but that doesn't mean I don't think it is still a fantastic game, especially for it being free-to-play. Like, the game has its issues, I think all games do, but I don't think it's fair to say that the game, like, has no redeeming qualities, I guess. Especially you mentioned Regal Aya by name. The Regal Aya controversy was fixed in a day. I'm still miffed about the community's response to that, actually. For those who don't know, when Prime Resurgence was first introduced and Regal Aya came out, Regal Aya did not come with any platinum. And people were rightfully mad about this, because they were like, well, what the fuck? The old Prime, you know, like, when Prime Resurgence was like a rotation, every 3 months with the Prime Access, those came with platinum. Where the fuck is the platinum with Regal Aya? Literally the next day, DE added platinum to these and retroactively gave it to everyone who bought Regal Aya. And people still hold that up as, like, some big moment of DE being, like, greedy? And it's like, if DE was greedy, why the fuck did they revert it the next day and retroactively give it to everyone? Like, I'm not trying to be, like, a dick about to the person who brought this up. I just think that Regal Aya was a particularly strong example of the community being shit. Like, yeah, it was a bad thing, and it got fixed, and people still ragged on the devs for it for, like, the next week. It got fixed immediately. I thought until this morning. Yeah, like, Prime Resurgence, that kind of fucked it up early on, but I think that ultimately it's a better system than what we used to have. Sword for Drifter, do you agree? No, because the amp is required for things like Angels and stuff, which would mean that the Drifter isn't really a side grade to the Operator. I guess I'm stuck in here now. Well, it's either that or you go back to SCP Secret Labs community blueprint. Pick your poison on this one, bitch. Ultra Common Gaz TTV win. Okay, Sailus. I remember you seeing this late in the day for the EU. No, I've just been unable to sleep. It's almost 7 in the morning here. It's 6:38. Not to mention that Wisp can also speed it up. I might have put it in an editor's note or something at some point. I don't know which one you brought, because, like, yeah, Wisp can speed it up. Who else? There's another frame that gives a speed boost. I'm pretty sure that can speed it up. Nova's portals can speed it up. They can go through the portals. Loki's switch teleport works. There are quite a few things that work with it. I just forgot to mention them. Speedva. Speedva doesn't work on the drone because it's an ally. It's no different. Damn. Most from accessories cost 4. Yeah, that's some bullshit. They used to cost 3. And they've slowly increased them over time. Wukong's Prime accessories, all told, cost 6. Which is ridiculous. Man, children, yes, all the time. Like, I feel like me giving a rant on this will probably put me at odds with several of my members of chat, but I do think that gamers in the modern era, in most games, are just really fucking whiny and entitled a lot of the time, and it's very grating. People seem to love to surround themselves with negativity. Warframe has devs who actually care. Fair enough. But people surround themselves with so much negativity, and I hate it. Like, this is something, and I'm not trying to throw him under the bus, because obviously I love him, but Nitro kind of gets caught up in this, where he'll be part of game subreddits and kind of follow these dramas, and I just kind of find it to be really frivolous. Like, he doesn't generally, like, get super up in arms about shit or anything, but I feel like it's one of those things where I look at it and I'm just like, I don't really care. Like, a lot of that stuff completely drowns out any positivity or any, like, good thing about a content release. This is the part where I put people at odds with me. Helldivers 2's community is probably the worst community I've ever seen in a video game. Ever. Period. They're awful. Genuinely some of the worst people I've ever interacted with. Helldivers 2 has a shit ton of problems. Don't get me wrong. It has a fuck ton of problems. That community is so entitled and toxic, I fucking despise them all. Like, for those of you who aren't familiar, Helldivers 2 goes through controversy since the game is held together by fucking, not even tape at this point. It's like Elmer's glue. People have gotten to the point where, in order to protest a bug getting fixed, now to be fair, the bug allowed the weapon, the flamethrower, to do some crazy shit, and they have already said they're going to rebuff the flamethrower in the future, but there are people that are going around in public lobbies team killing people so that they stop playing the game. That's how fucking bad it's gotten over there. This is, like, legitimately unacceptable. I want Arrowhead to start banning these people, because if you're going to sink that low, that's fucking pathetic. Like, it's a video game. If you don't like the way the game is going, stop fucking playing it. I think that you should still voice your concerns. That's completely fair. But to go into the game and start fucking killing your, like, people, that's the fault of the death-tripping friendly fire? I completely disagree. Part of what makes Helldivers fun is that it's chaotic. Friendly fire is legitimately part of the fun because the game is so, you know, hectic. You can't really remove that from Helldivers without hurting a core part of the Helldivers experience. I don't think it's the fault of the devs because that mechanic is a mechanic. Like, That's a big part of the game. Killing your friends is fucking hilarious when it's on accident or comedically timed. These people are joining lobbies, waiting for people to finish the mission, and then killing and kicking all of them from their lobbies because they're that toxic. That shit is just insane to me. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What is your damage? If you don't like the game, just leave. Specifically because they wanted to buff the flamethrower. I don't remember that ever being added. At the very least, they said that they're going to be rebuffing it. Like, don't get me wrong, I think Arrowhead is a developer that fucks things up all the time, and I don't play Helldivers nearly as much as I used to because the game just keeps misstepping constantly. I won't suck Arrowhead off here. They make a lot of mistakes. They're at least trying to be transparent about it. About trying to fix things, right? But at the same time, the community is... No game developer deserves a community like the Helldivers 2 community. And, like, I'll say this. The bug that they fixed with, I say bug kind of in air quotes, that fire could ignore armor, was a huge nerf to the flamethrower, which was the only reliable way to kill behemoth chargers. So I think it's totally fair to be upset about that. I also think it's bad that the developers release one patch every, like, other month at this point. Because the game, after this happened, has seen basically no balance changes, and that's stupid, frankly. Fix this as fast as possible, in my opinion, because the game has not seen any major balance changes. It's just sat there and stewed for weeks, and that was a terrible thing. Like, this is a terrible situation for them to be in. I think it's stupid of them to leave it like that, but there's the thing, it's a non-toxic community. Yeah, and that's the thing. All of them have some level of toxicity, but more than others. More heavies than citizens on Super Earth. Yeah, and that's the thing. The QA team, I don't think, has ever been seen to play above difficulty 6. So, I mean, you know, the game has its issues. Let me put it that way. The game has its issues, but the Arrowhead does not deserve the treatment that they get. Is a contributing factor to the toxic community. There are plenty of games with friendly fire where the community isn't necessarily toxic. Friendly fire can be used by toxic players, and when Helldivers released, it was not a toxic community at all. I'd say the first couple months of the game being out, Helldivers was not toxic. People just abused that mechanic to be toxic now that they're mad at the game. Where do you rank Grendel? I don't entirely know what you mean by that. Also, Ice Fields of Rita is one of the Grendel missions. I forgot I have one of these. That's understandable. I'll say this. Is Helldivers getting worse over time? Yes, I actually do agree with that. Do I think it's understandable to act this way? No, I think that it's out of proportion. It's a fucking video game. I still think that there's no excuse for acting the way the Helldivers community does. It's legitimately gross. That they're gatekeeping the game into toxicity. You know, fair enough. Some communities also enter what I like to call a positivity circle jerk, where they're so anti-toxicity that you can't have a negative opinion about the game. A good example of this is Titanfall 2. Fantastic game. You cannot express any negative sentiment. They will just fucking kill you. SABC. I think tier lists in Warframe are kind of frivolous. I don't personally like to frame it that way. I think Grendel's a good character. For the most part, but I think tier lists in a game like Warframe are just reductive. Honestly, in most games, they're reductive, but different Warframes are good at different things. Vote with your time type of thing. Yeah, like, stop playing the game. That was actually a thing Pirate Software talked about, was like, if you're mad at Helldiver, stop playing it. Wasn't the community so positive about LARPing and spreading democracy? For the first couple months, yes, but the game just got more and more buggy over time and more broken, and several balance changes have off-put the community, and that's fair. The response is way exaggerated. It's still a video game, but I understand the negative sentiment, just not the extent they've taken it. What do you think about Palworld? I've never played it, actually. There's no contract forcing them to play. Same with people who, like, I've played for 500 hours and I'm leaving. Like, okay, you got 500 hours out of your $40 purchase. Like, that's a shit ton of time, dude. Stop Killing Games initiative. I don't live in Europe, so I guess I'll just see where it goes from afar, I guess. No strong opinion on that one. Give me $5? I guess I could. Your game's a viral meme. Yeah, like, Helldivers 2 is a fun game, and it was, despite its issues, still very beloved on release. The problem was that was sort of under the pretense the game would improve, and the game, unfortunately, has not really improved. If they actually fix Ragdoll. Like, yeah, the thing they've talked about with, like, rebalancing primary weapons, toning down ragdolls, reworking chargers, those are all really good things. Give them $5. Thank you for the 5, Cooper. I don't have, like, at least payment information. I guess I'll have to try somehow. Get me a joint joke personality for making repeatable videos. I don't understand what you're talking about, frankly. I feel like I guess I'm not interpreting your message correctly. $20 is still $20, real and true. Most perfect frame in the game. Do you agree? That's a very loaded statement. I think he's a good character. I'll say that much. I think they actually make the game worse. Here's the thing. I don't think the Helldivers developers try to make the game worse. The problem is the game is so fucking broken, and the vision that the developers have for the game is not what the community wants out of the game. The developers want it to be this desperate, against all odds kind of experience. The community wants it to be a power fantasy, and that struggle between the two is what's leading to the rift between them. Arrowhead can't bring themselves to stop nerfing stuff. That's what killed it for me. I feel like this... Okay, I'm going to be honest with you all, and I'm not saying this to be mean. The Arrowhead nerfs everything is a fucking psyop. Like, objectively, it is not true. If you look at the history, there have been more buffs than nerfs, historically. Considerably more buffs than nerfs. The problem is the things that did get nerfed hard and were good. The problem necessarily, I don't think, is that Arrowhead nerfs everything, but that the things they did nerf were nerfed because they were good. And everything just sits in a pool of mediocrity, basically. Like, if you look, kind of breaking it down, I think every single weapon in the first Warbond has been buffed. Only one weapon got nerfed in the second Warbond, all the other ones got buffed, and its nerf was its ammo capacity. Democratic Detonation, Grenade Pistol was a side grade, Adjudicator got buffed. They nerfed the ever-loving fuck out of the Eruptor and the hand crossbow. And then I don't think they've ever changed, I don't think they've ever changed anything in, what is it, the Vipers, or whatever the fuck, the jungle one. The Tenderizer got buffed. Purifier got buffed, but still sucks. Verdict was always a decent weapon. Pummeler, I think, has always been good, too. I don't think they ever changed anything about it. Like, there are plenty of things in Helldivers that have gotten buffed. The problem is the nerfs were big fucking nerfs. The Breaker was kind of a nothing burger, honestly. The original Breaker nerf was nothing. Shield Pack was also kind of nothing. Railgun got murdered, and even though it's been, like, sort of unnerfed, it's still shit in comparison to, like, everything else. Quasar Cannon got nerfed. That was a really big one. What else? More recently, the Flamethrower nerf was a big deal. Like, the things that do get nerfed in Helldivers are really, really substantial nerfs. The problem is that, like, the buffs fall by the wayside when the only viable tactics at high levels fall off. Because, like, in Helldivers, the reason that the Flamethrower was popular is because it's the only way that you could reliably deal with the enemy, the Behemoth Charger. Now that the Flamethrower can't do that anymore, basically no weapon is good at it, and they spam the fuck out of them at higher difficulties. So there's basically no reliable way to deal with a very common enemy. Buff the uninteresting while nerfing all the cool weapons? I think that you should, like, buff the uninteresting weapons, still yes. The problem is the idea for what should be an average weapon is different in the mind of Arrowhead versus the mind of the players. Never been addressed. And I will say this, Egg, the spawn changes still not being fixed is actually a fucking atrocity. For those who don't know, the spawns got bugged so that the game always treats it like you're in a full squad. They don't scale with your squad count. And they tried to fix it in a patch and broke it even worse by making more trash mobs spawn and not fixing the original fucking bug. The game has just been, like, legitimately awful to play if you're solo or with one other person. Because there's way too many enemies, and they've never fixed it. They acknowledge that they broke it even worse and haven't fixed it. They added Behemoth so those nerfs were invalidated. More or less. 5 Lotus or 1 Revenant? 1 Revenant. The Lotus fucking is insanely OP according to the new war. They can't beat the higher difficulties. I wouldn't be surprised. I want to be able to give the Lotus a hug. Yeah, if only. I don't... This is my minor rant about Helldivers, I guess. The community is shit. The developers... I don't understand why they make the certain decisions. We'll put it that way. Revenant presses 2, though. You can eventually break Mesmer Skin. If he has Rolling Guard, that might be a problem, though. At that point, you basically can't kill him. The Elder Scrolls community, never been that involved in it. It was like 20 minutes. Yeah, look at how long the stream has been. That's not that much time. Make Revenant fall into a pit. Yeah, knock him off the map somehow. That's the strategy. Yeah, like, I'm not involved in that many video game communities. Many of the ones I am are unfortunately rather unpleasant. They exploded. Yeah, the original Helldivers I don't think ever peaked above like 7K concurrent players. The original Helldivers 1 was exceedingly niche and had a very tight-knit community. Helldivers 2 blew the fuck up. Like, the trailer for Helldivers 2 came out after the game came out. Fallout community, not that involved in it either. Like, game communities I'm involved in, the Smash community, it's pretty shit, I'm not gonna lie. Even aside from people getting ousted as, you know, groomers and shit back in the day, the community in general is just kind of shitty and defends bad people. Hunt Showdown, they also fucking suck. A lot of that community is also, they're also shit. I don't know, those are the only 2 I can think of off the top of my head. Let's, you know what, here everyone, do you guys want to do a sequel to Hunting Void Angels? How many how many viewers am I gonna lose over this, like back in the day? Oh yeah, Destiny 2, their community also sucks. How does one showdown a hunt? You'll see. Are you active in the Warframe community? Aside from my own YouTube community, actually no. Biggest positive circle jerk in the world? I wouldn't be surprised. Skyrim is a game that's good because it has a lot of mods. Base Skyrim is like an inch-deep ocean, in my honest opinion. Great game, I will concede that, but it's not... Like, the depth comes from mods that give it systems depth. Let's play Killer Bow, fuck it, why not? Do you have a decent Exterminate bounty?
Slowly, like hooks dragging through flesh. Every time you silence one of them.
I guess that's not terrible, but I don't care. Not actually playing. You know, fair enough. Name 3 communities that don't suck. Deep Rock Galactic, Titanfall, this shouldn't be difficult. Terraria, honestly, that's a fair opinion. I don't hear people getting, like, ass mad in the Terraria community. Stardew Valley. I feel like that game is designed to pacify you. Or enjoy something you don't like. I don't understand the question. I personally would rather have a community be too positive than too negative, but nothing is above criticism, and people tend to forget that. The Rain World community is so creative, even in their fanfictions. I actually have never played Rain World, but I've heard it's really good. Oh dear, sorry, I was pulling up a thing. It's actually a psyop. Can I please self-res? Fucking hell. Anyways. Is good, all things considered. I'll be honest with you, always. They're good until there's a controversy, and then they show their true colors. I know a lot of people actually have, like, contentions with me in the Overguard video about this, when I say that I think that the, when I kind of, I guess, talk about that behavior. Warframe's community is fine until there's a controversy, and then they're just really fucking shitty. Regal Aya, Overguard, there's a lot of examples of the community being really shitty. Also, that's every community. I don't personally agree with that. Warframe's community takes it way too fucking far. Like, when Regal Aya got released and people were mad that it didn't contain platinum, there were people that bought Regal Aya asking questions on the sub about it, getting called slurs. I'm not joking about this, for buying Regal Aya. Like, that's not okay. In any community, that's not okay. If you don't fall in line, people will go as low as they possibly can. Which is why I don't involve myself in things like the Warframe subreddit anymore. That's Reddit. This happens on the forums, too. Like, I think you can have communities respond okay to negative changes. Like Titanfall, for example. Reducing grapple to 1 charge wasn't popular, and people voiced that opinion but weren't super toxic about it, and it got reverted. The developers were like, this didn't do what we wanted it to do, so we'll revert the nerf. Like, you can express that something is not good and not be a complete toxic piece of shit, call your fellow gamers fucking slurs about it kind of person. That is unfortunately rather common, I'll concede that, but... Hamilton costume contest winner, that doesn't surprise me. That's really shitty too. How long ago was the grapple nerf? The grapple nerf in Titanfall 2 was in one of its later updates. And what they did was they reduced it from 2 charges to 1, and it didn't reduce the pick rate of grapple, so they just brought it back up. Very dumb binary vitriol people. I think it just depends. Like, here's the thing. If a community is small and tight-knit and passionate, they're generally more positive and prone to positivity circle jerks. The broader the appeal, the more shitheads you end up getting a lot of the time. Made sure to voice it. That's shitty. Like, the Necromant guy had a great costume, and I honestly thought he was gonna win, but the Ureli person easily, like, deserved it, too. Terrible. I actually am using it, I'm just not close enough to actually trigger it. So I just stopped. Went to play the Calamity mod. Get mad for not knowing how the market works. That shit's just funny. Like, they're toxic, but it's funny. That's part of the cosplay. Yeah, she put extra effort into it by playing a character, which I applaud. Her cosplay was also very, very accurate. I feel like that's kind of undersold. Minus the helmet, because she had to see. Her cosplay was incredibly accurate, material and all. She did a great job on it. She had a working compressor. Yeah, like, that takes dedication. I wish that they could have had them both win, but that's just not how the contest works. They both, obviously, I think, deserved it, but I would have put that as, like, a toss-up. I would have struggled to pick if I was there. Find the word void rigged pretty funny. You know, fair. Probably the hardest part in a cosplay. Yeah, fair enough. Region chat. I mean, I agree, but you have to. I guess you have to consider, like, there is a disconnect. But I guess to say that, like, how do I put this? This is like a No True Scotsman, I feel like, where it's like there is no Warframe community because they're so fragmented, which isn't necessarily fair. There are different gathering spaces for the community, and a lot of them fucking suck. That's just how it is with most game communities. I'll say this, if you want to go to bat for the Warframe community, that's completely fine. Like, if you've had positive experiences with it, that's okay. I've been in the Warframe community for 10 years now. I hate most of these people. I'm just gonna be point blank with you about it. I hate a lot of these people. I've been through enough of them having their meltdowns over fucking nothing that, like, by the time Angels of the Zeraman hit, I was just done. I just couldn't fucking deal with them anymore. I want to make something clear. When I say I hate the Warframe community at large, on some level, this is true. But I want to say that my viewership, specifically, I like almost all of you guys that I interact with. The Warframe community in places like the forums, Reddit, Steam discussions, if you're fucking insane, the official Discord, those people I generally don't like. People who interact with my content, we have a more personal relationship. Wiki comments are a travesty, dude. Those people are actually fucking insane. indebted to him? That's kind of fucked up. What the fuck? Feels welcoming me and nice. Grattler Gang has a few people that are a little eccentric, but for the most part, I'm your #1 hater. I respect that. Weird ass deer. I don't know, like, a lot of those places for the Warframe, blaming DEI and Sweet Baby Inc. for everything wrong. Dude, I was on the Steam page for Starfield, and it was like one curator review. Yeah, it was like Starfield's Creation Club came out, and I was looking at the currency page to see how much it cost, and it was like one curator review, and I'm like, there's a curator review? And I look, and it's just literally, you guys want to know, okay, I want you guys to guess, what do you think the curator reviewed the Starfield currency packs for? What do you think they reviewed them for? I'm gonna have some guesses. What do you think the curator reviewed them for? Like, not positive or negative, what do you think was the reason? Multiple choice quests. Wokeism? I will say this. It is actually not wokeism. You guys want to know what it was? That Bethesda is pro-abortion. What the fuck is the point of this? Like, I'm not even, like, irrespective of anyone's individual opinions on that, why the fuck would that actually influence my opinion buying the game? I find that to be so funny. They were going to abort Starfield? Holy shit. I don't know, dude. I just sat there like, what the fuck? Why does anyone care? Dude, that reminds me of when the whole thing happened here in the US with Roe versus Wade, and DE released a statement about how they, like, support access to reproductive rights, and, like, that's cool. You're in Canada. This doesn't affect you at all. Like, your statement doesn't really mean anything, because I'm pretty sure it's federally protected there. Once again, irrespective of anyone's individual opinions on abortion, like, that was such a fucking nothing, like, okay? Is funding the lobbyists, oh no, anyways. Bethesda's thousands of people. Yeah, like, that's true. Like, the company can have an official stance, quote-unquote, but companies aren't people. If you still can't kill kids, that's true. Bethesda needs to expand to be pro-abortion, but letting us kill children. I agree with this take, actually. Good take. Based take, as a matter of fact. Not just eco-terror. You don't agree with your personal opinions? Yeah, like, people view companies as people. I hear this at my job all the time, where people are like, well, you guys did this, or, like, you did this, and I'm like, I didn't do fucking anything. I just work here. Like, the company I work for is not a single person. It is a company. Most of the things that people get mad at me over aren't my decisions. I just work here. I just help people fix their problems. If you're mad that, you know, your cable costs too much or something, fucking take it up with the cable providers. That's not my fault, and it's not my job. I had nothing to do with it. Or when people, like, have a technician come out to their house, I'm like, well, you did some work the other day, and I'm like, I didn't do fucking shit at your house, okay? A technician did that. That wasn't me.
It's worth it.
I didn't do fucking shit. Being awake sucks. I agree. Someone in the proximity mentions McDonald's. Oh my god. How can you be that fucking politics-brained? That, like... If... Don't make me get the website. Please do not post anything MPreg-related in the fucking chat. Jesus Christ. I don't know. The modern state of politics, especially in the United States, is so fucked, it's just kind of sad to watch. But at least I'm not like Italy that had fucking Tifa Lockhart porn play for, what was it, like 7 whole minutes? I'm sorry, Blueprint. I'm sorry that happened to you guys. Doesn't care if it's my fault and my boss won't budge. My boss is actually good about talking to customers. Like, if they want to talk to him and he's available, he actually will do it. But he's just often not available. Not the Tifa Lockhart. It was glorious. That was real? Yes. As far as I'm aware, that was real. That actually happened. it's pretty chill. Fair enough. I don't actually think I know where you're from, B. You don't have to say it if you're not comfortable with it, but while being recorded, that's kind of based. There was actually a guy we spoke to. I can't remember what it was about, but he's basically threatened to show up at our building with a gun. And he's now on the banned customers list. That's a pretty short list. In my city, that's like 20 people. But you can't fucking say that. Like, we had the police show up to his house and explain to him, like, you can't do that. You can't say that. I wonder what that list is for. Yeah, like, I don't know, like, my job is relatively lax, and I work upstairs. I don't actually work with customers directly. I just work on the phone, which is nice. Because, like, there's pretty well-known in the office footage of a customer showed up with some complaints about his bill, and just, like, had a full-on mental breakdown in our customer service area. And so, like, we had to install bulletproof, like, acrylic down there, and, like, an off-duty cop was down there for, like, the next year, just in case something like that happened again, because this customer, like, legitimately was a dangerous person. But that's relatively rare. Most of the people that are on the banned list are for threats or being, like, legitimately fucking insane. And I'll say this. I've spoken with many people who are legitimately insane and not on the banned customers list. I can't say this customer's name because it's so specific, but there is one woman we speak to every now and again that I legitimately think is probably like an untreated schizophrenic. And I'm not saying that to be reductive to schizophrenia. It's a pretty serious thing. I have family members with it. But it's one of those things where, like, it can be difficult to navigate. Let me put it that way. When you're speaking to someone who clearly needs treatment, and also it is right there, as a matter of fact. I'm glad someone remembers that meme. But how do you have Teshin back to normal? He's only back to normal in the transmission, but I can show you real quick. Just enable this setting, creator mode. But, like, it's difficult to navigate speaking to a person who is, like, deluded like that and asking them to do things. Oh, my animation's broke. I don't remember how you're supposed to fix this. Well, in terms of country? Oh, okay. Let me have bisexual Fortuna? Yeah, if only. Have been broken since the last main update. This breaks in other environments, so I was watching my friend Lucy play through Vox Solaris, and this happened to her there. Just gonna hit him with a few, hit him with a few sillies real quick, and then just, you know, let me get my Incarnate meter built up. Actually, why? I was like, just armor strip the guy. I'm fucking stupid. Never seen this in Zeramin yet. Going down the drain for the last 14 years. Yeah, so I've heard. I don't keep super up to national politics or, like, international politics. I hardly care about my own country's politics because I'll just get fucking depressed. To interrupt the ball? Yeah, you can. There's a few mechanics that are, like, very operator-centric that aren't immediately obvious. Bug requires a code fix. Yeah, I'm guessing that's probably just going to be a thing in the October update. Speaking of mental issues, it is just kind of sad. Like, I don't mean to get political, and I'm not trying to express or endorse a particular political position, let me say that much. But, it is sad to watch, I'll put it that way. I still have the fucking Daggett visual effect, that's kind of funny. Doesn't want to get political. Look, I said I didn't want to, but we are erring into the realm of generalized politics. I'm not here advocating for a particular political position. When I say that that's like, I've made that clear. My politics are incredibly boring. They would not interest anyone. It's the only comfortable way to fight against nullifiers? Yeah, that sucks. You ever befriended any customers? Not really. Doesn't want. Yeah, meme errors don't work on chat. You know, fair enough. And no, Caliban's rework is in the October update. since 2020. Yeah, I actually do think whatever the fuck is funniest. Yeah, I agree with that. My politics or whatever would upset the person I'm talking to the most at that moment in time. I think that the internet has genuinely just kind of, like, especially after the, like, during the pandemic and beyond, kind of fucked people up, dude. Like, being stuck on the internet as your only social interaction. We just want to escape from them. Yeah, like, blame Trump for politics. I mean, not necessarily. Things had been getting gradually more divisive over time. 2016 was kind of like a big boiling point for it. I won't deny that, but that's getting more into the realm of the more explicitly political. But, like, if you look at graphs of, like, bipartisan cooperation and stuff, it had been reducing over time steadily, and then I think it was, like, around the time of Bush's presidency was when it started to fall off really, really hard. Not, like, now, but, like, the Trump administration was pretty much the death of bipartisanship in, like, Congress and stuff. It's almost never happens anymore, but it went down over time and then kind of fell off the cliff at that point. Grew up in Obama's era. Yeah, I was born in 2002, so... And current board member Nefanyo. I think that they're both bitches, and I think that fucking Zanuka should be allowed to run the corpus now. Genuinely just a jerk. You seem kind of modest. I mean, I try to be, but I also won't claim to have no faults, I guess I'll put it that way. What is Obama's last name? Care. His full name is Obamacare. Thank you for the 25 Ron Toppy, Little Tapato, the famous rapper. Can we get some applause for Little Tapato? When's your next album dropping? Also, welcome Stargazer. Hold on, I'm trying to fucking organize my chat real quick. Obama, yes we can. Real. Conquer the soul system. Honestly true, real politics. Here's the real, we have to discuss Warframe politics. Who do you guys side with in the solar system civil war, the Grenier or the Corpus? Here's what this will be the certified lurker moment. If you've been lurking in chat, you know, haven't been talking much, who do you side with in the galactic, or the civil war of the solar system? Go ahead and say that, just to let me know that you're alive and that you're okay. Grenier, Corpus, I don't know, whoever you want. What's the faction you side with? What are we thinking? Me reading chat led to my fucking untimely death again, because I'm a dumbass. The head hitbox for this thing is so fucking janky, dude. It irritates the shit out of me. I'm not gonna self-res. There's no way I'm getting this in time. Oh yeah, we're cooked. Whatever. I'm seeing a lot of Grenier. Damn. Call seems the most reasonable. You know, that's fair. That's fair. Sentience. Everyone forgot the Tenno faction. I'm gonna say Tenno is off limits. That's too easy. You can't say I side with the good guys. I am going to expressly outlaw that one. You can't just be like, yeah, I just be one of the good guys. It's like fucking Mark Wahlberg with his comment about 9/11. Yeah, like, yeah, sure, you can say that. I'm on side with those that kill the most. The Tenno are good. I mean, yeah, I think that can be said. Are murderer children. I'm saying that the Tenno were faultless, that they're the most positive force in the system. No good or bad. I think you can pretty clearly say that the Grenier wanting to conquer the entire solar system because they believe that they're superior than regular humans is pretty bad. Like, sure, it's not black and white. It's not like a Tolkien, like, good versus evil style story. But I think you can pretty confidently say that the Tenno were generally a good force, and that the Grenier and the Corpus and such are a generally bad force. Like, the Infested doesn't have morals, it's a disease. arguably better than the Tenno. I think I can see that. My politics are Grendel. Tenno are war criminals. I mean, that's true. But I have to hit that with a but of, like, that is true, but they're also, I guess, A, children. B, the Geneva Conventions probably does not exist in Warframe. The things that the Orokin allowed them to use on their enemies is kind of insane. But even beyond that, the Tenno overthrew the Orokin because they were a fucked up, corrupt empire. Like, sure, the way they did it was stupid and plunged the system into chaos, but, you know, it is what it is. Why is everything green? The Daggett visual effect is stuck on my screen. It won't go away. In the Warframe 1999 timeline? Who knows? Those look fun? That's true. Bro got slime. It's not a Warframe if you win. That's the most patriotic thing I've heard in my chat in a while. I don't even know if you're American. I remember when the fucking U.S. Army started to do an esports, like, Discord, and people kept posting the Wikipedia U.S. war crimes article in it. From the ruling... I mean, that's true, but, you know, you leave a power vacuum, things like that. No, I think it's very patriotic to just say that it's not a workout if you win. Sponsors Counter-Strike esports events? That doesn't surprise me. I'm sure if the infested asked nicely, we'd help. I would say that sort of happens. Dude, reading chat's getting me fucking murdered here. Kind of happens with the Myconians, but they have the Triuna, who's like a hybrid, so I guess not really. The infested can't really ask for help, at least as far as we're aware. They're a fucking, like, mind virus. They're the woke mind virus. That did not count for any progress. I'm gonna die. Well, my animations are fixed, at least. Existed, but considering their stance on class raising, I think we would be against it. They're just hungry. I don't feel like I mean, morally neutral as in they don't have morals, sure, but they also try to, like, assimilate all life. They're basically like this game's gray goo of sorts. We would not help them. I feed my helmet out of a moral obligation. I will confess this. Sometimes I walk in the helmet room and he's like, when are you going to feed me? And I feed him, even if I don't need to. Like, he's at like 80% on a resource. Fuck it. It's inefficient, but I don't care. I want him. He needs to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? I'll admit I do that. I do occasionally do that. I feed my helmet just because he asks. What time is it for me? Almost 7:30, actually. I'm probably going to end the stream here soon after I get enough to buy the Kuva. Feed the cat to the helmet. Yeah. And this asshole's feeding his worm. The DNA stabilizer thing was pets was a different issue because they would actually fucking die and be removed from your account if they died. Okay, that reminds me of a story. I mentioned my cousin Nick earlier. We used to play this game quite a bit when we were first getting into it. I played it on Xbox in like 2014 and then took a break and then came back in 2016 on PC and played with him. He named his Kubro Failed Abortion, and there was this recurring gag that we couldn't get it to die, and then after he left the game for a while, he logged in and received a message that Failed Abortion had died. So after all those years, Failed Abortion was successfully aborted. And now he has a Kavat named Failed Abortion 2. I actually dug up a screenshot of Failed Abortion. It was like a screenshot that just said, Failed Abortion is down, or something like that, or Failed Abortion has died. Didn't know he was pro-Bethesda. Stream dying, is it? Is the stream dying? Sit rep, chat members. It doesn't say that I've lost connection in OBS. I see a few, it's fine. Just as soon as you talk about failed abortion, damn. I see a few dying and a few it's fine. I'm not receiving any notification from OBS. Hold on, stats. I have 0 dropped frames. That's actually impressive. buffering like crazy. I'm not sure what's up with that. OBS is saying that I'm perfectly fine. That's strange. I will say, if you're on mobile, it almost always just nukes stream quality by default to 480p. I don't know why. You might have to manually set your resolution. The Grave Spirit effect is still on my screen. What the fuck? Okay, whatever. We'll do one more. I'll take, I don't know, honestly. We'll take Titania. That's fine. Bro, go to sleep. I need one more for the Kuva purchase. Korvax. I feel like I don't have the enemy density for him to work that well. I feel like he works best in, like, survival and stuff. What Syandana is that? Oh, on Daggeth? I think it's the Revenant Prime Access one. Why is Daggeth called White Woman? I think we all know why. Let's be real here. Oh, what the fuck? Oh god, what is going on? Dude, oh shit, I'm tweaking off the Gmail perk. What the fuck is happening? Oh no. I've got this fucking after image. Dude, I fucking huffed a whole can of fucking Raid Max, and I'm tweaking. What the fuck? Look at this. There's an after image of my Titania. Oh, fuck. That's, gross. I need energy. I need emergency dissipate motes. I hope I remembered to re-equip it. I think I forgot to re-equip it. Shit. Hey, bitch. Just gonna... Hold on, I need to get infinite ammo real quick. Could you not? Why are they doing this? Stop. You know what? Actually, yeah, Torment has no melee. Just fucking do this to her. Man, I'm so hungry. Real. Angel's not in here. Arcane Pistolier. Good Arcane for Titania, but I won't deny it. It's kind of annoying. Stuck in Perpetual Grave Spirit. Oh wait, the after image is gone. I think we're good. Arthur liked movement shooters with the new Half-Life cinematic shooter more. Because you leave a shadow clone when you move. That's true. I've mastered like the shadow arts or some shit. Do you get what this image means? I'm gonna say, Evelyn, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure what that means. I'll be honest with you. I don't really know. It's also weird that I have such high stream viewership and have had it when I've been doing this at such an early time, but I guess the EU viewership is coming out in force on this one. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Gotta just work my way through this fuck-ass mission real quick. I cannot get a headshot kill for the life of me. This is why I struggle with Pistolier on this character, and why I normally would always have Energized munitions on, but Blast Electric is just so good. It's hard not to use it. Increases shocking. That's the thing. Most of my audience is US, according to my analytics, which is why I'm surprised. Or I guess I should probably say Western Hemisphere. YouTube highlighted that you were streaming. I mean, I appreciate YouTube doing me a solid for once. Never forget that the Dargan video got... I'm pretty sure it got fucking shadow banned. Why is the brain so incredibly stupid? Who knows? Someone actually told me earlier. I forgot to mention this again. Also, why not blast Toxin with Archon continuity? Niche thing. Electric is a multi-target DOT, so it deals damage instantly, whereas Toxin deals it after a 1-second delay. In my own experimentation, they're both comparable, but I've been liking Blast Electric more. They're both very viable options, though. I used Blast Toxin with Archon Continuity on my Mesa, and it's very effective. I recommend both. Maybe other Europeans feel the way. Hell, maybe. I mean, I appreciate it. I'm not complaining by any stretch. It's just surprising to me. My stream viewership is very inconsistent. Sometimes it'll be like an average of 50 viewers, and others you'll hit like a 150, and it's like, okay. You know, we take those. New War and Duviri. I think that we'll probably get some content releases to bolster 1999. I just want Narmer Sword to include. I want to go kill Era or whatever the fuck. I find it weird we haven't done anything with him in a while. Is it in the last possible room? Heat corrosive with Archon Vitality? Yeah, fair enough. For most of the time, yeah, that makes sense. While I get ready for work. Unfortunate that you have to go to your real job. That shit sucks, I'm not gonna lie. Why can't I be a famous YouTuber and make videos where I talk about politics like Hassan? Okay, I can't. I will actually start to get mad about how much I fucking despise Hassan, dude. I can't get into this rant. I can't talk about Hassan. I'll fucking go feral, deadass. I will lose my mind. I would watch late at night, honestly. Fair enough. Vase. No, like, all I'm gonna say is watch the Willie Mack series about Hassan. That's all I can say on the matter. I despise most politics YouTubers, dude. Hassan, Vosh, The Quartering, Keffels, like, the lot of them. Not a fan. The Quartering is the only right-wing one I could think of, to be honest with you, but I don't particularly like him either. Most politics YouTubers are just really obnoxious. You only named retards. Yeah, but they're also very, they're all very large. Let me put it that way. They all have large followings. That's why I'm concerned. The fuck did Hassan do? Watch the Willie Mack series. Hassan has done a lot of awful shit. Some of the shittiest reporting out of any just quote-unquote reporter ever. Easily. And then so everything else is ever done. Yeah, Keffels is definitely up there, too. Anyway, he's just dumb. I would argue Hassan is outright malicious about a lot of things, actually. So is Vosh. But that's to be expected in the political landscape, frankly. Corvex would watch Daily Wire? What leads you to that conclusion?
They finally got the message. We're near backing up.
I've left years ago. Yeah, a lot of political YouTubers are just grifts, honestly. The worst are the Turkey Tom rant soda motherfuckers. Honestly, that kind of goes hard. Dude, if Turkey Tom ever started talking politics, I'd probably just have to kill him at that point. Hide your horses. Corvex is like a prepper. I feel like Hydroid would be a prepper, honestly. Something about Hydroid gives me like a boomer vibe because he's a pirate. He's a PDF file. And he would unironically have sex with a horse. Like, I make jokes because Nitro is a brony. Vosh isn't joking. He's clarified this multiple times. Brutalist apartment building. I could see him being like a Soviet, actually. Rip Neja, he would have loved Bernie. Fucking hell, dude. Hydrator Vosh. For the horse thing, Vosh. I actually agree. The less you know about Vosh, the better, unironically. Dude's... It's bad. What worm would have loved Obama? I'm going with Trinity because of universal health care. I think Trinity would have been pro-Obama. How to hide on your computer when setting for repairs. What the fuck? I hadn't heard about that one, dude. Holy shit. I guess I'm safe. Blueprint, you are safe. This is all American politics bullshit. You say Oberon because gay marriage? Oberon in A Midsummer Night's Dream has a wife, Titania, but that's not necessarily canon to Warframe. One with lolly art on his PC? Yes. Not only that, but also, like, drawn, you know, bestiality, so... I'm gonna get super fucking... I mean, this stream's gonna get taken down for me saying this shit. But yes. Baruch would have loved Biden because of LOL. Dude, just imagine, like, that's why Biden's, like, so sleepy. He's just getting fucking, like, there's a malicious... It's like the meme with the white pharaoh harassing him. It's like fucking... The Baruch has been lulling him, or, like, Equinox has been hitting him with fucking rest off screen, dude. Okay, I'm stupid. I forgot that you can get lifted by Mania if he hits you. Oh, no. I'm in the ground. Okay, we're good. We're good. RFK stole his Warframe. True. Can you please die? My fucking razor flies jumped his ass. The ops slid on the opponents. Hell yeah. Can spawn more than once in non... Yeah, if you take long enough, they will spawn more than once. They spawn on a rotation of roughly between 4 and 6 minutes. They can spawn as early as like 3.5 and as late as like 6.5, but it's normally in the 4 to 6 minute range. All over your screen. The Daggeth Grave Spirit effect isn't going away. Ember always struck me as a Karen. I can see that. I feel like she'd be like a skater girl, honestly. Also, yeah, the Acolyte timer does run while you're in the Chrysalith. That, too.
If you have specimens, I'm deeply interested.
Is it ever going to go away? If I go back to my orbiter, is it going to go away? What time? It is currently 7:33. Okay. Been live for 2.5 hours. We'll give it a little bit longer. This is the part where I'll just say if you guys have any questions or anything, we'll just hang out for like 10 minutes. Between Republicans and Democrats, they're basically just two different political establishments. I'll be honest with you. Is there a difference between the two? Yes. Have they ultimately drifted towards the same things over time? Also, yes. It's kind of an illusion of choice situation. What's the next video you're working on? Kind of undecided at the moment, actually. I'm kind of workshopping what's going to be the next major focus. Best game original soundtrack? Metroid Prime. I'd probably pick Metroid Prime. Get corrosive for armor strip? Yeah, and you can do that. That's still a very viable strategy. I actually totally agree that's a viable strategy. I like electric because it deals damage instantly, which also means it works better for acolytes and stuff. Warframe Geographic. That video script was recorded ages ago. It's actually a little done, but maybe I'll work on it. The problem with Geographic and why I put it off is I know the video is going to perform like shit, and it's just super discouraging. Warframe Geographic 1 after all this time is still one of my worst performing videos of all time. And it just sucks knowing that it'll probably stay that way forever. Exalted video? That's gonna take months of effort. Bring back the Metroid Prime OST? I mean, I could. My main concern is getting copyright claimed over it. Working on video stream. I think the problem with that is that it'd be too difficult to make sure everything is visible. I'm bored. Should I dismantle my bed? I'm gonna go with no. Do a progression guide. I actually have an idea. I want to make a new account and stream me playing through the whole game from start to finish, and then make a video that's basically the comprehensive Warframe walkthrough. Because I feel like a lot of new player guides don't consider the context of where the player is at in the game. So I think that having a walkthrough type thing where I am basically going through the whole game with the viewer and they can see, okay, here's where I am, just go where I'm at in the video and they're at that point as well. I think it'd be a valuable thing. That would just also be another massive project. It would take me probably months to make a video like that. And it sucked. I've heard iFlynn's is out of date nowadays, especially. I think that would be a valuable resource, though. Barely admit this, but modding? Yeah, I have an idea. I want to do a modding tutorial, but it's going to be such a big thing. Like, I'll be honest with you all. When I was working on the modding video that I talked about, I kind of had a crisis of, like, what is my channel for? And this is kind of difficult to explain. But as I was sitting there working on this like new player-oriented educational content, I got recommended a Kengineer video that was basically one of the topics I was going to talk about. And I kind of just sat there like, what is the purpose of my channel exactly? Why do people watch it? And so the question for me becomes, if I make new player-oriented things, am I going to be branching out into a space that I really have no business being in and my content's just fucking worthless? Or like I guess I don't know where that falls, because I have video ideas that are more traditional for my content. I want to do a video on the ability kinesis mechanic and railjack. I want to do making specters overpowered, making ramparts overpowered is a video I want to do. Like stuff that's more conventional to what I normally make. But I feel like if I'm going to do like a full modding guide, that's nothing like what I normally make. And I feel like I guess I don't know if, like, is that the purpose of my channel? Is that what people come here to watch? I don't really know, honestly. I'm not entirely sure. Rampart hit damage cap last month. Honestly, that's based. They made the game early game more bearable? Yeah, fair enough. I don't know. Like, it's something I'm just kind of thinking about. Like, should I do a modding guide that's like, the idea was basically beginner to advanced, where I'd break it up into sections. So like the first section is the fundamentals of like, what is a mod, how do you rank them up, how do you get them, stuff like that. And then the what I like to call the holy trinity, the big three of things you want on your weapons: base damage, multi-shot, and elementals. Intermediate would be like weapons with specific stats that are good, so like crit weapons, status weapons, hybrid weapons. Advanced, the third section would basically be a bunch of stuff you could get over the course of your Star Chart journey, like set mods, mods from Deimos that we would call the Acolyte mods, Nightmare mods, stuff like that. Expert would be a tier for Steel Path and like pre-Steel or like Steel Path level stuff, like Galvanized mods, Weapon Arcanes, Kuva Lich weapons, Incarnate adapters. And then Master, the last section, would be more big picture stuff like frame synergies, primers, heat inherit, like more complex topics. Use the hack until it stops working based. Please do explain, if you do it, why you remove things like pressure point from a weapon. Actually, I can explain that real quick. This is a topic that I think a lot of people explain poorly. Maybe I do too, but... So, there's an easier way to talk about this. Okay. So, this is going to be a bit conceptual, so I just need you to bear with me here. So, here's why people will do stuff like that, and why you wouldn't want to run them at the same time. I want to state up front, you absolutely can run pressure point and like condition overload at the same time. That's totally fine. It's still more damage, but I'll explain the logic behind why you wouldn't want to do that. So, say I have a weapon. I have a weapon that deals 100 damage. And say I have a mod that adds 100% more damage. Okay, now my weapon deals 200 damage. So it's a 100% increase. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. So now say I add another mod that increases it by 100%. Keep in mind these mods scale off the base value. So that base 100 now has another 100% added to it. Okay, so now we deal 300 damage. Because I have 2 plus 100% damage mods. Those mods add to plus 200% damage. But you'll notice something. So, when we went from 100 to 200, that was a doubling of my damage. 200 to 300 is only 50% more damage. Based on, from the initial value. If we add another 100% damage mod, that's 400 damage. That's only 25% more than we had. So... And I want to make something clear with this explanation. People call this diminishing returns. That's not the correct term. It's actually, from what I understand, the correct term is relative change. Diminishing returns is the common term, and that's what people will refer to it as a lot of the time. But the actual term, as far as I'm aware, is relative change. So, the 33%? Yeah, fair enough. I got my math a little bit off there. But... the point I'm trying to make is diminishing returns essentially, or relative change, says that your goal is to try and get as high of numbers you can with as few of the same thing as possible, because the more of them of the same kind of thing you put together, the less effective they become. So like stacking base damage. So like say you have, I don't know, galvanized aptitude, heavy caliber, and serration on, you don't need all those at the same time. So a lot of people will use either a galvanized, aptitude, or they'll rely on a weapon arcane, and they'll just forgo serration entirely. Now, this can be annoying because those have activation conditions, with like getting kills and things like that. But it's important to note that, like, while you can do that, it is technically less efficient. I won't fault you for it. Some people will get really ass mad if you do it that way. I don't think it's a huge deal. But essentially, when you're modding in Warframe, the goal is to stack things that multiply with each other. So, in that example I mentioned, those base damage mods are additive with each other. If I have two 100% base damage mods, they add into 200%. So if I was to take like an elemental mod, for example, that elemental mods are multiplicative with base damage mods because they scale off of the new value. So 90% cold damage would be 90 on a 100 damage weapon, but if I added a 100% base damage mod, it would go up to 180 because it scales off of the new value. So because of the fact that it scales off of the new value, elementals multiply with base damage. So you want to try and maximize the amount of multiplicative sources that you put on your weapon. So because of that, base damage from whatever source really isn't galvanized aptitude multiplicative. So here's the weird thing. On certain weapons it is. It depends. There's actually a spreadsheet for this because this game is not consistent. So some weapons it is, like Archiplasmor I know it is, for example. Chorophel it is, Stephlos it is. I think it's pinned in the Warframe discussion channel on my Discord. Tend to do more better with straight damage, and that does depend. But yeah, mostly weapons that fire like energy projectiles it's multiplicative with. You not need that much damage, at least in base SP. Yeah, I'd say generally that you don't need like insane-o damage, other than if you just want to see number go up. Early game frames and their roles. That I actually did want to do a video called basically how to play every Warframe, which was just a brief overview of every frame, how to get them and what they do, with the idea being so that new players could see like, oh, maybe I want to farm this character, maybe I want to try and play that character, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. I don't know how valuable it would be, but it was an idea I had as a series instead of a video. I think if it was a series, it would kind of drag, I guess, because I want each section to be short. I want it to be like, a couple minutes per character. I don't want it to be super in-depth, just a general overview. Maybe it'll be a series, who knows. I'm gonna recommend it to people. Yeah, that's the tricky thing. In this game, you have to live on the wiki. It gets outdated with every change. Then I'll just do like what, Rainbow Six Siege YouTubers do and just update it every year for free money. Easy strategy. Easy strategy. Just make a new one every year. Projectile with a width is multiplicative. Normal projectiles are inconsistent but lean. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to put it. How does Blast compare? Blast is good, especially on rapid fire weapons, because it detonates immediately when you hit 10 stacks of it. Like, for heat stacking and, like, heat inherit and mechanics like that, that's a plus 100% increase, but wouldn't it lower the total threshold of damage still? How do I put this? I'm trying to read your question in a way that I feel like I can actually understand the response I'm about to say. Lower the threshold of damage. Yeah, so here's the thing. You should not abandon base damage. Let me put it that way. When people don't take Serration, they do still take a source of base damage. Normally, Galvanized Aptitude or a Weapon Arcane. Because if you were just to, like, to drop Serration and just use Elementals, you run into the exact same problem stacking base damage has. They add with each other, and they start to, become less effective over time. I failed to dismantle my bed, fair enough. But, Like, those are like the three you want. Base damage, elementals, and multi-shot, because they all multiply with each other. It's more the source of the base damage that kind of gets shuffled around. Get people to play around more. That's something that kind of happens in Weird and Obscure, but I don't know. Weird and Obscure is currently on hiatus for a lot of reasons. Weird and Obscure Volume 13 was one of my worst performing videos of all time. Like, for that kind of video, too, like, it was kind of a wake-up call of, like, I need to do something else for a while. The series is just getting stale. People are losing interest in it. I just need to switch gears for a bit, and we'll come back to this eventually. Those obscure mods, yeah. Like, okay, here, this is how we'll end the stream. Lego Dude, just to extend an offer to you if you'd like. If you want, pick a weapon and I can talk about modding it. We can kind of go through the process if you'd like. That might make it easier to explain. Also just be running out of obscure bits and pieces. Oh no, there's a shit ton of obscure stuff. Like, the chat for Weird and Obscure is still so active that I have, like, multiple episodes of content to talk about. The people are losing interest in the series. Whatever buff you're giving it does not equal to 360%. Yeah. Also, we'll switch off my Titania loadout. I think this one... Okay, no, I did switch it back. But more focused, maybe? Why is there a razor fly in the ground? I don't know. Like, I have a lot of content ideas. Which of them will actually materialize is, up in the air. We'll put it that way. I tried to hang my jacket up there and just completely fucking missed. The green is gone? Yeah, we're free from the green, thank God. Base damage is still necessary if you have a Bane mod? Actually, yes. I would still say base damage is necessary, because Bane mods are multiplicative. So you want to stack things that multiply with each other. So you basically still will always want some source of base damage. The main exception to this is if you're playing Chroma, because Vex Armor is base damage. Under your base would see that stuff. Okay, Venka, this will be an interesting one, because I don't use this weapon that much. I don't actually know what I have on it. I haven't looked at my build for this in a really long time. This is pretty generic. Fever Strike is just kind of here, and not even fully leveled. This is a little bit fucked up, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, here. We'll talk about this. Our Elementalist, multiple... Okay, so here's the interesting thing. Elementalists are multiplicative after literally everything else. Okay, so when it comes to something like this, so Venka has... Okay, the crit multiplier is super fucking misleading because I'm on my Ash. Hold on. I think my Caliban, yeah, doesn't have any shards that would modify this. Okay. So, Venka Prime is a crit weapon, but I think it's viably a hybrid weapon. It has very workable status chance. It's mostly slash, which is good. So essentially, when it comes to a status chance, you can see this when you hover over it now. The more of a damage type you have on your weapon, the higher chance it has to trigger when a status effect occurs. So, solid status chance, but the crit chance is good to work with. 2.6 is a pretty high crit multiplier. And then we have the critical chance is 32%, which is pretty high. Before the video could diminish some views, but I'm doubtful of this theory. Yeah, it's whatever. So, melees, you'll often just want to have a base damage mod more often. The question of it kind of becomes, do you want Condition Overload or Prime Pressure Point, or Sacrificial Pressure if you're going for the extra crit chance from Sacrificial Steel? For a weapon like this, that'll kind of depend on our end result. I'll just use Prime Pressure Point for now. A mod that I basically never run without is Drifting Contact. It's very cheap, 40% status chance, 10-second combo duration. This is just really good to have in general. Because of that high crit chance, typically for crit builds, you're going to want to run a couple of mods. Blood Rush is a staple mod. That's really the reason that you want the Drifting Contact to begin with, is for Blood Rush. And there are kind of a few different schools of thought, I guess, when it comes to crit builds. Some people really hard try to make room for the Gladiator mods, and you can absolutely do that if you want to take advantage of their set. Personally, when it comes to stuff like that, oftentimes I like to just go to just critical. Sacrificial Steel, this is a pretty staple mod. Pressure point shouldn't be used with a condition overload. Generally, I would say yes. You're fine to use them together. Just be aware that you will start to kind of lose out on damage. And then here, Organ Shatter, a critical damage mod. So this is kind of your basic situation, I guess, for a crit weapon. So here's kind of where I'm going to go from here on this. So I mentioned that we have workable status chance. We got 36%. So because of that, I want to put viral damage on this, because this gives us an okay chance. Whenever we get a hit, that will make the enemy take twice the damage. It's just free extra damage. And it's already got a pretty decent slash weighting as well. So here's the thing that's fucking with me, unfortunately. This dash doesn't really fit in with what I'm trying to explain, because what I would say is I would use this for attack speed. The problem is, as far as I'm aware, there are no attack speed mods for this polarity. I think attack speed is kind of a personal preference thing. Gladiator Vice is just better Fury. It gives you the Gladiator set bonus, which is very, very good. It's basically a free built-in Blood Rush. Quickening is also really good. This is the one I normally use. 40% attack speed, 20% combo count chance. It's just all around a really good mod. And then Berserker Fury. This one is the highest one, but also requires you to get a kill, or a couple kills. So these are kind of the three that I often use. Viral directly on my melee. That's true. You can use a primer to abuse or to try and weight slash as high as possible. I'll be honest though, I think that for the vast majority of people that's not necessary. If you want to be optimal, you'd use a separate weapon to inflict status effects and try and pump your DOT as much as possible. I think for most players that's kind of annoying, so I don't really recommend it. When I do the video, I am going to talk about it, and that is a way you can, and often in some environments should, play the game. But I think that for general use, I don't think a lot of people would want to play that strategy, I guess. Yeah, I would normally put attack speed here. Attack speed is kind of a preference thing, but it's a straight up increase to your damage. Slash weapons use Bane, right? Or is that unnecessary? It's helpful, don't get me wrong. I'd say in most content it's not needed, but it is helpful. Bane mods in general are often not required. They're overkill in most content, primed ones especially, but you still absolutely can work with them. There's not a problem with using them. They're just often not needed. The wiki is wrong. Interesting. Because yeah, Fenka has a unique trait that it gets a 13 combo instead of 12. As far as I was aware, it didn't work with these mods. I wonder if that's changed. Fenka already builds combo fast as it is. The reason I like Sacrificial Steel is it makes it less punishing if I lose my combo counter. That and something else to consider, right? So Blood Rush is 400% at max. Or 440. I guess on this it might be 480. This is an extra 220. That's potentially an entire extra crit tier. And when you're moving up in crit tiers, the critical damage, yeah, increases each time. So I can absolutely see, like, I guess I should also probably mention that range is another stat a lot of people like spring-loaded blade or primed reach or something like that. I don't personally fit range on a lot of my builds, but I think you can absolutely, like, if you like it as a comfort thing, you can definitely take it. Like I said, it's all kind of, I feel like you're kind of at the preference point. Even hell with this, if you want, you can drop Drifting Contact and use Naramon instead. It just depends, really. Like, there's a... Because, like, with this, having a 5-second combo duration, this is 15 because I'm using Ash's Augment. having a 5-second combo duration just sucks. I think it's just really uncomfortable, but if you're willing to part with it, you can definitely swap this out, or take Naramon or what have you, and, you know, supplement it that way. It's entirely up to you. You know, when you're building the weapon, if you'd find a certain stat to not be necessary, because Syro takes 2 whole slots, and that's true. Like I said, for me, this is just a general use case thing. Like, if you wanted to prime with another weapon, then you can definitely change this. But I think that generally, primers are not a thing most people, at least as far as I'm aware, more casually would be using that often, because it's just kind of finicky to swap between weapons. Like I said, it's a preference thing. If people are willing to run a primer, then yeah, you can drop the viral stuff off of this and, you know, take more quality of life things, or take, like, things to increase your slash weighting, or things like that. Absolutely, you're able to do that. But I feel like if you want to just hit shit with your melee and not think about it beyond that, you should run viral on the melee itself. That's just my opinion on the matter, though. You can also proc viral externally for things like companion weapons and stuff like that. Panzer Vulpaphyla, stuff like that as well, or, you know, certain companion abilities. I find those to be kind of inconsistent, because they can be a bit finicky with if they're on the enemy you're actually trying to attack. Like I said, it's a matter of preference. Is this technically optimal? No. Technically, having a primer is the optimal way to do it, but I think that it's generally more comfortable to do something like it this way. This is more geared towards, like, a how do I put this? Like a general use thing. If you're willing to run a primer, or make that like your companion's job with like a hound or something like that, do half damage, we get twice as much without viral, and that's fair. I feel like, I guess when you put it that way, it almost seems like a break even, but why not sacrificial pressure? You could absolutely take it. Like, if you wanted to, you can shuffle this around and use pressure for the extra crit chance. It is actually slightly worse than primed pressure point, wherever my prime pressure point went, so keep that in mind. But like I said, it's a matter of preference. Like, this, what I'm discussing with this is a general use case situation. I'm not arguing this is optimal. There are better ways to use your melees if you're willing to... why do I have 2 sacrificial steels? This one is 1 rank under that I use for certain setups. It's a very niche thing. But this stuff is very broad stroke. This would be, well, imagine there's an attack speed mod here. This would be my recommendation for like a general easy to use melee. Is it optimal? Technically no. If you want to take like Epitaph or Nucor or something and like pump it with slash weighting and range and things like that, yeah, that's totally fine, and you can do that. It just depends on how you want to play. This, for me, is more of a, I'm just going to hold E, and that's kind of where the thought process terminates, type of situation. And use dexterity arcanes. That depends if you're going to use your melee exclusively. If you don't plan on using your weapons that much, then yeah, you can use dexterity arcanes instead. But I also want to make it clear that this being a general use case thing, minus the sacrificial mods, which you can kind of easily swap out for things that aren't as expensive. Like, I feel like getting into the weeds of things like other weapons and stuff like that is kind of content I would save as a much more advanced subject. If someone wants just like a general, like, oh, how do I build this weapon? If I was to assume they didn't really have access to many resources, this is the kind of thing I'd suggest to them. Weeping Wounds could definitely fit well here. It's just that you would have to have some other way to bolster that, and that's a little bit tricky to explain. Sorry. Like I said, first of all, Idan, you know I can always just bring up the meme that Spike sent me, but second of all, like I said, for me, it's like there's a lot of stuff that you can trade out with this. I want to make something clear to all the people saying that my build or my explanation of this is bad here for any reason. There are things that come down to preference. I don't use range on many of my builds. I don't find it necessary. If you like it, you can find a way to work it in. That's totally fine. We're not doing this right now. I'm joking, Aiden. I'm not going to bring it up. Don't worry. I think Spike has put you through enough. But this is just a general what I would suggest. If you like range, find a way to put range in here. If you don't think attack speed is valuable, don't use it. If you want to use a primer, don't take elementals on your melee. It's just a lot to explain in one stroke, I guess, of like, yeah, there's a lot to consider here. Now I need to know? No, you don't. Or already really long, and that's, yeah, fair as well. I think with stuff like this, a lot of it does come down to preference, with just things in this in general. More, to an extent, I guess, what are you willing to part with? Or are you willing to juggle having other things, you know, trigger your elementals and things like that? For most Warframe content, honestly, even just a build that's okay will get you through pretty much the entirety of the actual game. Like, really optimizing something for, like, level cap or some shit is very rarely necessary. Like, you might want to optimize for, like, a long farm of an endless game mode, like Disruption, or Void Cascade, or something like that. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. Like, stuff like this works perfectly fine. Honestly, even just to kind of make a point, if I wanted to, I could shuffle a few things around. The 1V on here makes this a little bit difficult. We could use Gladiator Rush for combo, and then, you know, put an attack speed mod there, too. That's kind of the trade-off, I guess. Rush is more expensive and less combo duration, but it also gives you the Gladiator set, which is very valuable. My mouse keeps disconnecting. Do you have any advice? How old is he? If the mouse is old enough, he might be starting to die. What do you prefer, Acolyte or Demolisher Killer? I actually like Harmony. You never know what within the time comes you might attempt higher level play. Yeah, I feel like if your weapons are able to do like EDA, then you're probably fine. Okina Blast Afflictions? That honestly sounds hilarious. Harmony is basically fucking... That thing's borderline cheating, but... Dual Daggers double proc Afflictions? Oh yeah, because their heavies are 2 hits, aren't they? I'm guessing that's the strategy. That's interesting. I haven't, like, messed with that much. This is my very generic explanation for this. Like I said, a lot of it comes down to preference, and with certain weapons it varies a lot. Like, yeah, like Quickening. Yeah, I put Quickening on almost everything. I find attack speed very valuable. My normal Venka build sucks. This desperately needs another Forma somewhere, or just take the dash off because I'm not using it, but... That's not important. And some weapons also are very niche with, like, their rolls. Like, a lot of people... Why do I have 2 Cronin? The fuck? Vastalock? A weapon... A lot of people use this for armor stripping. Also, yeah, if you have a build, you can post that in Warframe discussion, if you'd like. But a lot of people use this for armor stripping. So that's, like, something to kind of keep in mind. Is there's some weapons have very particular ways people set them up. Or, like, heavy attack builds, explosions from, you know, these. As long as you can keep your kills, your attacks becomes hilarious. Yeah, I think it's a comfort thing. Do you want to have to deal with slow attacks to get your kills up, like, initially, or do you want to just have a consistent level of speed? It's a preference thing, I think, ultimately. Technically, Berserker Fury is higher DPS. I use the normal combo duration mod instead of Drifting Contact. Fair enough. What is that, Why can't I think of the name of it? Body count. Yeah, this guy. Great build combo for secondary outbursts. Niche, but a good mention. Yeah, fair enough. Heavy attack comes out stupidly fast. Yeah, that makes sense. It is... This stream's been going on for 3 hours. It is 8 a.m. And we're probably going to have to go ahead and cut it here. I'm starting to lose my breath from how much I've been speaking, which, you know, tends to happen. So I guess, you know, Discord links in the description, VOD playlist is in the description. Thank you to everyone who watched the new video. New Styanax Tenogen, I think it looks cool. But, yeah, I don't know. There's stuff in the description you can click on if you want. I don't know. Up to you. I don't really care. I'm gonna go because it's 8 in the morning and I haven't slept. So, good morning, everyone, as they say. I'm out of here. See ya.